Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight. From Erie High School, it's for the North Valley League title as the Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Erie Tigers. Along with Brian Nickell, I'm John Beltran. I promise you we will not have the interruption for the public address announcer during the game. We'll be able to hear and broadcast this game clearly. It is going to be a big game for both teams. Right now, Fort Morgan enters as the number 9 team of the RPI, while Erie is sitting at number 11. Both teams are 4-0 in the North Valley. The Mustangs are 7-2 overall, winners of 5 straight. They have not dropped a game since September 28th at Conifer, 35-28, and Erie is 6-3 on the season after a 2-3 start. Of course, they've won their 4 league games.
Broadcast for free tonight.
All right,
Erie Tiger Network. Be sure to tell your friends.
Brian, let's see if we can get this in here before we get to the national anthem. The Nickell package, the 5 keys to a Mustang victory tonight here in Erie.
Yeah, it's these are the 5 that I picked out right now, but this is going to have to be a complete game for the Mustangs tonight. They're going to come out and win this. Number 1, I have offensively, they need to control the line of scrimmage. To get running room and also pass protection for Briggs Wheatley if he's going to have time to throw that ball tonight. No turnovers. Can't give Erie any extra possessions tonight. Number 3, defensively they need to create turnovers. They've done real well with that in the last few games. Number 4, also defensively, the defensive backs need to keep their positions. And number 5, the special teams once again could determine this game tonight.
CR5.
Special teams has been huge for the Mustangs. Let's head to downstairs for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of once bursting in air gave proof through the
Thank you, CR5.
All right, so momentarily we'll get this football game underway, and it's got huge implications not only because of the league championship, but you win this game, and for sure Fort Morgan will be hosting a game next week because they're 9th in the RPI. They would move up. Erie's 11th in the RPI, as I mentioned, so not completely sure if they would move up enough to host a first-round game in the Class 3A playoffs, which begins next Friday and Saturday from 8 separate locations. Erie's had a huge season from their 1,100-yard rushing running back, Mason Beebe, a junior, while the Mustangs rely on Briggs Wheatley as their leading rusher. And he, of course, is the quarterback, but David Sadinan has had some nice games, as has Frankie Ortega. K.O. Langford nearly had a 100-yard game against Brush in game number 2 of the season. And that seems to be the secret, Brian. There's never really one guy for Fort Morgan that carries the mantle offensively.
Right. They've got a plethora of running backs here. And we also left out Levi McCoy that played right at the start of the season. And just with everybody else, he hasn't got much playing time. But, the Mustangs are loaded at tailback. And, they've worked it in well. They've worked the passing in now that Briggs Wheatley has got in there and got some games under his belt as passer. the passing game has come along real well to help support that run game.
Yeah, it's as balanced an offense as it's been, because that was not the case the first 2-3 games of the season. And I think the game that changed it around was a loss to Conifer when Griggs threw for over 100 yards and ran for over 100 yards. And that seemed to get the offense going, even though that was a 7-point loss, because they went flawless in terms of losses in the month of October. Well, as you can tell, we're pretty close to the speaker here, and they're just getting louder and louder with the music. Erie is yet to take the field. Yeah, we'll just keep the music going here until we have a chance to talk right after the kickoff of tonight's game. Erie is dressed in their home blacks with the white numerals and the burnt orange helmets. The Mustangs in the road whites with the black helmets. Brian, hopefully we can hear ourselves think later.
Yeah, I hope so. It's hard for me to think when it's quiet anyway. But so this is, once they get this introductions and stuff done, we'll be good. But,
tonight will be,
it's a game that the Mustangs have to play flawlessly in tonight if they want to host next week. That's for sure.
Winners took home $1,000, $500, and $250. We'll announce that right between the first and
all right, Erie and Fort Morgan are on this football field.
For the game are Caraway Orthodontics. They have a special treat coming up.
On a gorgeous night in Erie, temperature now is in the, let's see, I think it was in the upper 40s.
Thank you for Caraway Orthodontics for their support of Erie High School football.
Let's see what we got. 52 degrees in Erie. Mustangs will kick off, opening kickoff, brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan. Hey, Brian, nice to hear you clearly.
Yeah.
All right, to kick it off will be Jacob Ortega, too deep to receive for Erie. Line drive, and that's going to bounce at the 3 and head into the end zone. Wow, what a kick there for Jacob Ortega. I think his leg has gotten stronger. He's certainly gotten better at kicking as the season has progressed.
The kick into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he's
for the Erie Tigers.
He's gotten better, that's for sure. So that's a big plus for the Mustangs if you can make them start at the 20 and not give them a chance to run that ball back.
Gavin Mendoza is the senior quarterback for Erie. He was a very good quarterback last year. He's thrown the ball a lot more. Noah Roper carried that offense a year ago, and then he got hurt in the postseason, and that was the end of Erie's season. Mason Vivi is their running back. Again, over 1,100 yards. He's had a huge year for Erie. Mendoza operating out of the pistol. 1st and 10 from the 20. 5 yards behind center. Man in motion to the left. Mendoza waits the snap, has it, hands it off to Vivi, running left side. He slips out of a tackle, bounces it to the outside, and the Mustangs have him at the 25-yard line.
Off to Vivi.
Didn't have much of a hole up the middle.
Run.
But then Fort Morgan was able to close it to the outside.
The ball on the 25-yard line.
But again, that's too much. The tackle was made by Caden Edson. 2nd down and 5 to go for Erie.
Yeah, he averages little over 7 yards a carry. 1,165 yards, 1,146 yards this year.
2nd down and 5 to go from the 25-yard line. Erie with possession of the football to begin the game. Again, 4 yards behind center. Mendoza is going to keep it himself up the middle, and he runs into Nick Norris at the 28, maybe the 29-yard line,
Mendoza
close to a first down. I don't know why they're stopping the clock. I don't think that's a first down.
They're giving it to him. Their guy on the other side marked him out to the 30.
Wow. I mean, that's a crazy
Mendoza
good spot for
with
them.
Enough for an Erie Tiger first down.
1st and 10 at the 30. Operating out of the middle of the field is Erie. Now, Fort Morgan's won 3 consecutive games by running clock
Ball
on the
set
third
the
quarter,
30-yard line.
but that's not going to happen tonight. This will be a complete game for Fort Morgan and for Erie as well. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 30. 10:52 to go in the opening quarter. Erie won a year ago in the regular season finale in Fort Morgan, 31-28 from the pistol. Mendoza back to throw, spinning, taking off with the football. A hole up the middle to the 35, and then he's met right there. About a 5-yard gain. Gabe Vickers on the first contact
Mendoza with
for
the
Fort
carry
Morgan.
to the 35-yard line.
But Erie will
It'll
take
be
this
2nd and 5
every single time,
for the Erie
Brian.
Tigers
Oh, yeah.
from the
Yeah.
35-yard line.
Yeah, if he has room, he's going to take off and run, and
He's a good athlete. Mendoza's not a big guy, but he's a solid athlete.
he's had 2 touchdowns, 270 yards.
2nd down and 5 to go for Erie at their own 35-yard line. Naked backfield, direct snap goes to Vivi, running off left tackle across the 35 towards the 39. And they're giving another favorable spot here, a gain of about
Vivi with
4.
carry to the 39-yard line.
Brian Paxton
3rd and 1 for Erie.
and Miko Yanez in on the hit. 3rd down and 1 to go. But I've seen 2 favorable spots so far.
Yeah, I didn't think he may have. I thought he maybe got to the 37, maybe the 37 and a half. But
Right, not the 39.
No.
3rd down and 1 to go. And Erie's just going to chew up clock. They want to shorten this game because even though they can throw the ball, Mendoza's done a nice job. If they're in 3rd and short situations all night, forget about the pass. 3rd down and 1. Mendoza waits a snap, 5 yards behind center. Has it, handoff left side, and I don't know about that. I don't think the running back for Erie got there. That was not Vivi that time.
Ian Vera.
Yeah, Vera, right at the line of scrimmage, stopped short of a 1st down. It'll be 4th down and
Erie
1.
makes it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 1.
Vera stopped at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 1, and now a timeout is called, I believe.
Yep.
Well,
Taken by Erie.
Timeout called by the Erie Tigers.
Well, Mendoza has come out. He came
8:48
off to the
remaining in the
sideline
first quarter.
2 plays ago, and that's why Vivi's been taking the snap.
Yeah, you wonder if he got banged up on that run, that 5-yard run. 3rd down and 1 turns into 4th and 1 after Ian Vera was stopped at the 39, running off the left side. Nice job by the Mustangs. And the middle and the right side of that defensive line to make the play. And a big decision here for Erie. They've held the football for the first 3 minutes and 12 seconds to begin the game. But now it is decision time for the Tigers because you're still only at your own 39. And you've used up a timeout already here in the opening quarter. And they were running the ball so well, they figured 3rd and 1, we'll pick that up easy, but that wasn't the case that time.
No. They like to run it outside. They like to run off tackle.
All right, Mendoza's back out there. 4th down and 1 to go from their own 39. Mendoza's out of the pistol. Vivi the lone setback. Mendoza is now going to line up under center. Quarterback keeper. And he's got a 1st down to the 40.5-yard line. Needed a yard. Got just a little bit more than that.
And
that's a smart play through the Mustangs.
Erie Tiger, 1st down.
A little bit off balance, almost at the 41.
Ball on the 41-yard line.
And again, if they continue on a drive like this, Brian, they could chew up at least half of the first quarter.
Yeah, easily. Yep. Getting close to
a third of the first quarter.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes right now and counting.
1st and 10 from their own 41. Man in motion to the right. And there's the give on the end around and try to slip out of a tackle and down back at the 40-yard line. Great penetration by Nick Norris and Christopher Schneider. And Will Kana is thrown down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
It'll be
and 10 to go. Try to get it to the outside on that jet sweep. Just didn't work.
No. Christopher Schneider was there to. He didn't tackle him, but he set him back enough to give the rest of the Mustangs time to get him tackled down.
Lining up now in the right hash mark. 2nd down and 10 to go for Erie. This will be the 8th play of the drive already for the Tigers. And they're still on their own side of the field. 2 receivers split out to the left. Mendoza, play action, looking to throw, looks to his left, runs up the middle. He's going to be met right at the 40, maybe to the 41-yard line. He ran into a big man for Fort Morgan.
Makes it back to the line of scrimmage.
And
it'll be 3rd and 10.
That was Juan Chavez to make the hit, 4th down. Check that, 3rd down, and 10 to go for Erie at their own 41.
Yeah, the Mustangs, whoever that defensive end is over on that end, kept him from taking off to the outside. He made him cut him back into where the rest of the Mustang defense was.
Well, now Erie has chewed up 5 minutes on the opening drive. 3rd and 10 at their own 41. Grayson Schenbeck is their leading receiver. Mendoza might be looking for him right now. Mustang secondary certainly will be tested. Loose coverage out there on the inside receiver. Mendoza rolls out to his left, now spins out to his right, setting up a screen caught by Vivi. He's got a seam to the outside to the 40, along the sideline, and he's out of bounds at the 28.
Number 7, Mason.
Oh, the Mustangs got sucked in, and it's a gain of 31 and a 1st down for Erie in Fort Morgan territory.
28-yard line, enough for an Erie Tiger 1st down.
Yeah, they had that set up pretty nice. Rolled out to his left and curled back around to his right and found Vivi out in the right flat.
And there was no Mustang out there until he got to about the 40-yard line. Again, a gain of 31. 1st and 10 for Erie at the Mustang 28. Pistol formation, handoff, Vivi up the middle, across the 25, and he's taken down at about the 23. Brian Paxton grabbed him around the ankles.
24-yard line.
But it's a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 to go. And Mason Vivi, the 1,100-yard rusher going into the game's got 3 carries for 13 yards and 1 catch for 31, so he's been productive on this drive. Under 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan has yet to touch the football. 2nd down and 6 to go for Erie at the Mustang 24. 1 receiver out to the left. Shotgun. Check that. Pistol. Handoff. Vivi. Stutter steps. And he's got nothing. Too many Mustangs there. And there was a 4th Mustang to clean it up in Nick Norris. No gain for Vivi.
On the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
3rd down and 6.
At the Fort Morgan 24.
12th play of the drive coming up for Erie. And you have to imagine, Brian, this is 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. They went for it on their 39. Everything is going to be 4-down territory for them tonight, or on this drive anyway.
3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Tigers at the Mustang 24. 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. Again, pistol formation. Vivi, the lone setback. Now he's in motion and resets to the right. Naked backfield. Mendoza takes off with the football up the middle to the 20. Breaks out of a tackle. 1st down. Mendoza's still going. The Mustangs cannot bring him down, and he's carrying defenders all the way to the 6-yard line.
All the way down to the 5-yard line.
For a gain of 18.
Erie Tiger, 1st down.
I got to tell you, Brian, that was just terrible tackling by Fort Morgan.
Yeah, they had a chance to get him right there, a yard or 2 past the line of scrimmage. Then he got away from him. He twists and turns, but they've got to wrap him up to if they want to make this a successful game tonight.
1st and goal for Erie at the Mustang 6-yard line. Mason Vivi will take the direct snap. Awaiting the football at the 11. Stutter steps. Right side. I think he ran into Nick Norris, and that was a mistake because Ernie Sandoval then cleaned it up and took him down for a loss
back to the 8
of a yard at the 7.
Yeah, nice job there by Nick Norris. Took him head on, and then he spun out of his grasp, but Ernie Sandoval was there to clean it up for him.
A masterful drive put together by Erie. Over 8 minutes on this drive. 2nd down and goal for the 7, but they're not in the end zone yet. Vivi again will take the direct snap. Naked backfield. Vivi runs to his left, cuts it back to the inside. He's going to be hit after maybe a gain of 1. I'm not sure he got to the 6-yard line. But again, 2 or 3 Mustangs around the football. Yanez and Cale Langford were 2 of them.
Yeah.
3rd down and goal.
Yeah, Brian Paxton there also.
Ball's on the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 6.
Well, they give him a yard. Is Mendoza going to come back in? Well, Mendoza's still on the sideline. I wonder how healthy he is, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you wouldn't think he'd be coming out, but you get a direct snap, kind of like a wildcat.
Well, that ball's still on the 7. 3rd down and goal for Erie. Man in motion to the left. We might have a 2nd timeout called by the Tigers, and we do.
Timeout called by the Tigers.
Well, They want to make
With
this worth their
3:08
while.
remaining in the first quarter. Timeout,
8
Tigers.
minute and 52-second drive for Erie. Yeah, they're taking up a good chunk here of this opening quarter, and the Mustangs, again, have yet to touch the football. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Western Engineering Consultants' strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. Well, this was Erie's bread and butter last year. Back in the 2000s, where they were in 2A, all they did was run the football. So I guess you and I were surprised, Brian, when we saw all these impressive passing stats by Gavin Mendoza.
Yeah,
But-
I thought go ahead.
Well, it's plays like that little screen, well-designed plays that I think are partially responsible for why they throw for so many yards.
The
Yeah.
Tigers from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that was a screen pass, behind the line of scrimmage. Then he ran it 38 yards for a first down.
3rd and goal from the 7. 5 yards behind center. And here's Mendoza rolling out to his right. Pressure coming, throwing into the end zone. Touchdown. Wide open is Will Kana. I believe that's Kana. Let's check that. For the touchdown for Erie. It's Josh Bradford. Nope, it is Kana. Check
Erie
that.
Tigers pass for an
No,
Erie
Ian Vera.
Tiger touchdown.
Oh, I went over a 1 for 3. Ian Vera makes the catch.
Dominic Dautavio out on the field for the extra point attempt.
That's a 7-yarder to Ian Vera. Yeah, I'll learn how to read numbers. Now the extra point to be attempted. And the kick is up, a critical kick, and it's blocked. Well, the Mustangs block it.
The extra point was blocked.
Extra point was attempted there by Dominic
So the
D'Ottavio.
Tigers will kick off.
3:02 to go in the opening quarter. 7-yard
To the
touchdown
Mustangs.
pass from Gavin
3:02
Mendoza
remaining in the first quarter.
to Ian Vera. Yeah, my wife told me to get a new prescription. Well, now I
Remember,
better
at the end
listen.
of this quarter, we'll be announcing the winners from last week's Moo Poo Classic.
Well, Brian, now you wonder if the
Great
Mustang
fundraiser for the
offense
Booster
is
Club. The Booster
going to
Club
struggle
are
to
the
get
folks
into
that
rhythm.
put
They've been on
the
defense, and
after prom
not that
event
they're
at
all
the end
two-way
of the
players,
year,
but
keeping our kids safe.
you're down
after
6-0. You had a chance to stop them, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they come. They're going to have to make a drive of their own wherever they start from.
Well, in the 2 close games Fort Morgan has won, they've come up with huge special teams plays. In the
Dominic
2 close
Dautavio
games
set
they've
to kick
lost,
off.
they haven't had a big special teams play. So let's see if that changes here. David Sadinana, and it looks like Frankie Ortega. They have both returned kickoffs for touchdowns this season, are back deep to receive. This kick is going to be fielded by Sadinana at the 7, running to his right to the 20, a seam to the 30, and still spinning across the 35 to the 36-yard line, a
Morgan
return of
returns to the
29 yards
35-yard line.
for
Well, they will
David
begin. First
Sadinana.
and 10, Fort Morgan.
Well, pretty good field position there.
Yeah, that was a nice run back. Gets them set up pretty decent, so we'll have to see now what they can do against this Erie defense. The other team in the North Valley League that was, matched Fort Morgan would have been Roosevelt, and they put 32 points on them. Still lost 41-32, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 10-point game. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 36, down 6-0. Looking for explosiveness right now. Out of the pistol is Briggs. Wheatley will hand it off, but we have a flag. We had no flags on Erie's first possession. I think we have illegal
Flags before the
procedure,
play
a
could
false
begin.
start against Fort Morgan right off the bat. No, it's offsides against Erie.
Offsides called on Erie.
Well, that's rare that the ball is snapped and you're offsides like that.
Yeah, I don't know why they stopped it. Usually they let the play
The
go.
ball reset at the 41-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5.
1st and 5 for the Mustangs at their own 41. 2:52 to go in the opening quarter, and Fort Morgan is yet to take a snap. 4 yards behind center is Briggs. Wheatley from the 41. That's the handoff and a big hole to the outside. Frankie Ortega with a first down across the 45 to the 47. A gain of 6 for the sophomore before he was hit
Erie
along the
enough
far
more
side.
for a first down.
Nice job there by the Mustang line there to get him
Ball
that
set on the 47-yard line.
hole there and get him that
First
first
and 10
down.
Fort Morgan.
Lining up on the right hash mark. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 47. Ortega and Marquez are the receivers to the left. Briggs Wheatley will sometimes go under center, but this time he's in a shotgun with a running back to his right. And Frankie Ortega from the 47. Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega, jitterbugging his way up the middle, across the 50 to the 48. It's a gain of 5 yards in the play. Ian Vera
5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
made the
for
tackle.
Fort Morgan.
I don't think he got that great of a
From the
spot
Erie
there, Brian. They
49-yard
backtrack it to the 49. 2nd down and 6. Mustangs back up to the line of scrimmage. Same formation with a running back just off to the right and a little bit behind the quarterback Wheatley. In Erie territory, under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Erie's up 6-0. Wheatley barking out the play, awaiting the snap. Now looks back over to his right, and the Mustangs are going to call timeout. Is it going to be that type of game? We might not have any timeouts remaining.
With a minute 39
by the time we get to
first quarter.
mid to late second quarter, as Erie's used up 2 timeouts, and the Mustangs with 1, and every play is so huge in this game, Brian.
Yeah, it's they want to make sure they get things right. This is going to determine a lot what happens next week in the playoffs. You win, you're going to be home. You lose, you're going to be on the road, and who knows, maybe to Palmer Ridge, Discovery Canyon, that's not going to be good. You want to be able to get this game under your belt tonight, go home and be able to play at home next week at Legion Field.
Mustangs out of the timeout, 2nd down and 6 from the Erie 49. It was a 7-yard touchdown pass from Gavin Mendoza to Ian Vera. As Erie scored in their first possession, which took, about 9 minutes?
Yeah, 8:58. You're correct.
Now the Mustangs, again, looking over towards the sideline as they customarily do before each play. Under center, Briggs Wheatley, the backs are in an eye. Wheatley will hand it off to, nope, he'll keep it himself. Option left. There's the pitch to Ortega to the outside of the 40. A first down along the sideline. And Frankie is knocked out of bounds. What a gorgeous play. Boy, that was a college-style play by the Mustangs. A quick option there. And it's a gain of 21 for Frankie Ortega and a Mustang first down. And that not only got me off base there, it faked out the defense quite a bit.
28-yard line of the
they had that set up. They had that set up pretty nice there. Nice fake inside there, and then he kept it and got it pitched outside.
A minute 29 to go in the opening quarter. The Mustangs in Erie territory near that red zone. 1st and 10 for the Erie 28-yard line. Wheatley has the snap, hands it off to Ortega, and he backs his way for a yard, maybe. Boy, Erie there to clean it up.
Ortega stuffed at the line by the Tigers defense.
Looks like no gain now. Thought he got to the 27. It's a good-looking play over there.
10 for the Mustangs.
By Dylan Hall. 2nd down and 10 to go for Fort Morgan as we are under 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. And again, Erie's only had 1 possession. This is Fort Morgan's first possession, and this could very well be the final play of the first quarter. Mustangs might set up for a pass here on 2nd down and 10. Wheatley with Ortega to his left. Wheatley is going to take it himself. Back up the middle to the 25. Wheatley spins across the 20 to the 19. Just some gorgeous moves by Briggs Wheatley as he's done all season.
With the carry to the
and a gain of 8.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, he's got some nice play action going on there.
Erie Tiger fans, let's make sure that we can make a stop here.
And keeping it and picking up that short, a very short 3rd down here.
Yeah, it's 3rd down, a long one from the 19, but I don't think the Mustangs are going to get the play off. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Wheatley takes the snap. They get the play off. The pitch to Ortega. The ball's on the ground. He picks it up. He runs for a first down to the 15-yard line. They got the play off and were able to pick up the first down for a gain of 5. And that is the end of the opening quarter. The Mustangs in the red zone as we hit the second quarter.
Makes it to the
It's Erie
14-yard
6, Fort Morgan nothing
We've reached
on
the end of the
B106
first quarter.
and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Tigers lead.
John Beltran with Brian Nickell. We begin the second quarter from Erie. The Mustangs trail the Erie Tigers 6-0, but Fort Morgan's got the ball at the Erie 14. First down and 10, coming on a blitz. Wheatley will hand it off to Sadinana running left side, but he's got maybe a yard, a late flag.
There's a flag on the play.
As he got to the 13. Now let's see what that is all about. And again, Brian mentioned one of the keys to this game is limiting penalties, not making mistakes. It's a face mask against Erie, a 5-yarder.
Face mask against Erie.
So Erie's done something so far that Morgan hasn't done so far tonight, is commit a penalty. And so far, that's 2 on them so far.
First down and 5 to go from the 9. That sets up Fort Morgan beautifully. They started this drive at their own 36 after a nice kickoff return by David Sadinana.
Ball at the 8-yard line for the Mustangs.
At the 9, first down and 5. There's the give to Sadinana up the middle to the 5-yard line. And he's down right there, very close to a first down.
Progress to the 5-yard
Give
line.
him 4 yards in the play.
Brings up 2nd and 1 for the Mustangs.
Well, if that's the case, Brian, they can run virtually anything here because it's 2nd down and less than a yard to go. From the 5, handoff, Sadinana right up the gut. And he's met at the line of scrimmage, but he might have squeezed a yard out of that.
The line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's got a first down.
Erie Tiger defense.
In fact, he might have got to the 3 as he lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, that was a nice run. Got his first down.
They were able to get the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
Football looks like it's just shy of the 3. Looking over at the far side. Well, I guess the official spot, they'll call it the 4. Just inside the 4. First down and goal for Fort Morgan. This is still their first drive of the game, their first possession, and we're in the second quarter. Looking to tie the game and perhaps take the lead. Wheatley will hand it off to Frankie Ortega. Touchdown off of right guard, Frankie Ortega from 4 yards out, and the game is tied at 6.
Nice job by that offensive line there to get that opened up for him. Then he drug some guys about that last yard into the end zone, but nice nice job by the Mustangs. Take that ball down the field and get it in the end
Morgan
zone.
ready for the extra point attempt.
Well, the Mustangs going to the swinging gate, but they'll attempt the extra point. This is critical now after Dominic D'Ottavio's extra point was blocked. Adam Cardona off the hold of Caden Edson. And they're coming with a heavy rush here. The Mustangs got to block this well. Edson puts it down. The kick is up, and that kick is good. 10:27 to go in the opening half. Fort Morgan 7, Erie 6. A 30-second break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Over
The Mustangs responded to Erie's touchdown by going right down the field. A 64-yard drive. Frankie Ortega has 6 carries for 40 yards, a 6 carry from 4 yards out. Extra point was good, and Fort Morgan leads 7-6. Jacob Ortega to kick it off. Boots that one away. It's a line drive, takes one big hop, fielded at the 15-yard line. That, I believe, is Will Kana. He's got a seam to the 35-yard line. A flag is down.
Jonah Van Landingham with
Check that. Van Landingham is down at the 36. Fort Morgan has been flawless so far in terms of penalties, Brian.
Yeah, that's no, they're going to have to be. You can't afford to give Erie any help. Personal foul.
Van Landingham had made it out past the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Is that a
like a crackback
block?
Yeah, it might be a crackback block, and I think you're right. Yeah, when I said I didn't know what that meant, it looked like an indication I hadn't seen before. But anyway, the ball's going to be walked back to the 22-yard line. But which defense is going to step up?
Puts the ball on the 22-yard line.
And which offense is going to make a mistake?
The Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from the
right now,
22.
this first half has gone by very quickly as we have 10:18 to go, second quarter, and the Mustangs lead by a point. The winner of this game clinches the North Valley League title. Trips to the left to begin this drive for Erie from their own 22. And now we have a whistle.
Timeout, Fort Morgan.
Wow. Maybe.
Timeout called by Fort Morgan.
Erie might have set up
remaining in the first half.
In a formation that Fort Morgan wasn't expecting. I mean, I don't remember in recent years Erie even going to trips, and they went trips left there. And I think that Coach Davies wanted to make sure, along with defensive coordinator Josh Langford, exactly how to respond to that, because they only might have had 2 corners out here. I'm not sure. But that's a smart timeout. And in a game like this, Brian, it really doesn't matter when the timeouts are called, but they'll matter a lot more in the second half.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you're going to want those later on in the game in that fourth quarter if it stays close like this. You're going to want to be sure on every play on that.
Fill up your cooler and gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. That's Stubbs Gas and Oil. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 22-yard line. Out of the gun with Vivi to his left. Trips to the left. Mendoza will keep the football right up the middle to the 25, and he stumbles and lunges to the 31 for a gain of 9. Man, he is tough to bring down. Again, he's not huge, but he knows how to.
2nd and 1 for the Tigers.
He knows how to get additional yards out of his body.
It looks like what Erie might be doing is clearing that box out. They're sending the 3 of the backs out, so they're not in that box there to make the tackle.
6 carries for 39 yards for Mendoza. 2nd down and 1 from their own 31. Direct snap 4 yards behind center. Mendoza to Vivi running right, and he spins, and I don't think he got there. He's down at the line of scrimmage.
Mendoza hands off.
Running off the right side. Boy, that's a great open field tackle by Cale Langford. 3rd down and 1 to go. And Vivi's been contained here, Brian. He's got 7 carries for 12 yards. That's a good job by Fort Morgan.
Yeah, that was something else I had written down but hadn't mentioned it. They need to keep this team under, around 150 yards on the ground if possible. They average over 200 yards a game. So.
Well, sometimes a nickel package can become a 6-pack.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially in a game like this where there are usually more than 5 variables.
Yeah, they average 229 yards on the ground a game. So if they can keep it to 150, I think they'll have a good chance.
Pistol formation, 3rd and 1. Vera's in motion to the right. Gavin Mendoza, the quarterback, has the football, hands it off. 1st down, right up the guts of Vivi. He just needed a yard. I think that's all he got, maybe a yard and a half. Before the Mustangs made the tackle.
Tiger 1st down.
Juan Chavez in on the play. But again, it's 1st down for Erie. They haven't had really any huge plays except the screen pass.
Yeah, the screen pass. Nobody's really broke it yet for them on the run. So,
and again, they're just chewing up clock. 8.5 to go before the break. Fort Morgan leads Erie 7-6. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Mendoza waits the direct snap. 5-step drop. Look, steps up in the pocket. Heaves it deep up the right sideline. Receivers out there. Incomplete. Boy, the Mustangs got to watch out defensively because had that ball been thrown to the inside, that might have been interference at the 32-yard line of Fort Morgan. Defended over there.
Mendoza's.
Looks like Edson, and I'm not sure if that was Marquez along the far sideline. But the ball was almost underthrown, Brian, and that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, good thing he was out of bounds when he tried to catch the ball. That could have been a pass interference out there. So
2nd down and 10 for Erie at their own 32. I mean, it's so hard to be a defensive back, so difficult. Now check that. Along the far side was Ortega along with Edson. Marquez is in the near side. From the 32, naked backfield. Gavin Mendoza, 2-step drop, throws it out to his right, caught underneath at the 35-yard line, but that's it. Cale Langford there to meet the receiver. Boy, that's an excellent play as 2 other Mustangs were able to help Langford make the tackle.
Pass complete for the Tigers.
That was Van Landingham who made the catch.
The ball on the 38-yard line.
At the 37.
Yeah.
We'll call it 3rd down and about 5 to go. Got to get to the 42. Long 5.
See if we can get a stop here on 3rd and make it 3rd and long or 4th and long.
Vivi will line up as a receiver to the left. Mendoza, quick drop again, looking, stepping up in the pocket, throws it deep up the middle. Vivi is wide open. He's got it at the 20 to the 10, and he's gone. It's a touchdown. 63 yards from Mendoza to a wide open Mason Vivi. He was 4 yards in front of the closest Mustang.
Mendoza for an Erie Tigers.
And Erie now leads 12-7.
Well, I think they saw Fort Morgan had Ernie Sandoval out there on Vivi, and that they're going to have to get a regular
Dominic
defensive back in there. They
out
can't
onto the field to attempt the extra point.
They're not going to be able to have Ernie cover a back like that out on a pass play.
Dominic D'Ottavio to attempt the extra point. Watch out for a fake here to go for 2, and that extra point is going to be inside the left upright.
Good. The score now 13-7 in favor of your Erie Tigers.
That's 7:22 to go in the second quarter. The Mustangs now trail 13-7, but Brian, Fort Morgan is getting killed defensively on third down.
Yeah, they give
I mean, how many third downs have they converted? Probably about, on the first 2 drives, probably 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah, and then they converted that fourth down play also on that sneak. So, yeah, it's about 6 of them where they've been able to convert that third down, keep that drive alive.
And that was an easy throw for Mendoza. Mendoza's thrown the ball only 5 times, but he's 4 out of 5 in the game for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we knew the secondary would be challenged, but as you mentioned, Sandoval's not a normal DB he's not a DB, a cornerback or a safety.
Kickoff for the Tigers.
Yeah, and they'll have to put somebody else in for that, or they'll expose that all night.
Erie to kick it off. Now holding a 6-point lead after Fort Morgan had taken the lead. This will be a high, short kick fielded by Ortega at the 7-yard line, running to his left to the 20, and he's going to be spun down at the 21.
Fort Morgan's returner stopped at the 21-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10.
See what they can do now. That was Frankie Ortega on the return. Might have given him the extra yard at the 22. Yeah, Brian, this is who's going to make the mistake.
Yeah, we'll see if they can respond again. They're going to have to respond every time Erie scores.
7:16 to go in the opening quarter, and all Vivi ran was a post. That was it, just a straight right down the middle of the field.
That was a beautiful pass. I mean, Mendoza just laid it out there. He put the arch on it, and he just ran under it. And
led him perfectly.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
1st and 10 from the 22. David Sadinana is the lone running back from the shotgun formation. He's to the right of the quarterback, and Wheatley will keep the football, cutting it back towards the middle, and he dives to the 25, a gain of 3. Those were 3 hard-earned yards by Briggs Wheatley before a couple of Tigers made the play. 2nd down and 7 to go for Fort Morgan.
3 yards, it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Fort Morgan cannot give the ball back anytime soon.
No, they've got to sustain some drives here, or at least take time off the clock.
2nd down and 7 to go from their own 25. Wheatley has yet to attempt a pass. That's what was encouraging about the opening drive. It was all runs. 2 receivers out to the right with 1 setback. Wheatley 4 yards behind center. Now the Mustangs looking over towards the sideline for instructions. And now we have another timeout called by Fort Morgan.
Amazing.
So both teams have used 2 timeouts.
Timeout called by Fort Morgan with 6:25 remaining in the first half
Both
of the
have
game.
1
Erie
remaining.
Tigers lead 13-7.
Again, every play is so big in this game, you don't want to make a mistake. Get a delicious treat, breakfast or lunch option, Willow Coffee and Bake Shop, 921 Edison Street in Brush. That's Willow Coffee and Bake Shop. We'll have a nice halftime edition of Championship Reflections. We'll hear from a former Mustang and David Valle. He was the quarterback of that 1999 3A state championship team. 6:25 to go, second quarter. John Beltran with Brian Nickell. Where will we be next weekend? We'll find out here in about 2.5 quarters.
It'd be nice to be home, but they've got to win this. They're going to have to stop that offense of Erie's if they're going to, and then also to respond here. They need to pick up some good chunky yardage here if they want to, so it's not a long 3rd down play. 2nd
and 7 from their own 25. Naked backfield. Wheatley will throw it out in the left flat. It's caught underneath, but no gain.
Oh.
And that was almost a late hit there.
Morgan's
thrown down.
Complete.
Was that Sadinana
no
who made the catch? Yep, it was Sadinana. And he was
Brings up
taken down like a
3rd and
rag
7
doll.
for Fort Morgan.
That was
This
a
is
hard
crucial
throwdown.
play for the Tigers to hold him.
Yeah, he's going out too. I think he hit his head pretty hard.
He did.
He slammed me down pretty hard.
He did. On this turf. 3rd down and 7 from the 25. 2 receivers split out each side. 5:45 to go before the break. Fort Morgan trails Erie 13-7. Frankie Ortega's in the backfield. And Briggs Wheatley back to throw. Out to his right. Cowboy Ortega at the 30-yard line. Cuts it back to the inside. A first down for Frankie Ortega. He spins to the 39. Boy, some beautiful moves by Ortega. That's a
Fort
gain.
Morgan's progress out to the 34
8
yard
yards
line,
to the 34,
which is enough for
not the
Fort
39.
Morgan
A gain of
first
8.
down.
Yeah, nice job. He did most of that on his own. He did get a nice block out there. I didn't see who that was. It might have been Nick Norris, maybe Ernie Sandoval that had that lead block out there for him that sprung him. And then
1st and 10 from the 34.
But you're right. He did that on his own.
Yeah.
And again, as you mentioned, Brian, just take time off the clock and not allow Erie to get the ball back, or at least if they get it back with little time, as we're under 5 minutes to go in the second. 1st and 10, Mustangs at their own 34-yard line. Wheatley this time will keep the football, run to his left, and he spins across the 35. He's taken down,
Did he
fumbled the ball, and Erie has got it at the 36.
There's a fumble on the play, and Erie recovers.
He was stripped at the 35, and Erie has it right there. First turnover of the game.
At the 35-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Tigers.
Yeah, that's what they couldn't afford to do. You can't turn the ball back over to them. Not especially this deep in their territory.
Well, now Fort Morgan's going to have to make a big play defensively, down by 6. And the danger of this is that Erie could take up the time, score, and then Fort Morgan doesn't get the ball back until they receive the second half kickoff.
Right.
So you don't want to fall behind double figures in this game.
No.
You don't want to be down double digits. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Erie for the Mustang 35-yard line. Off the fumble there by Briggs Wheatley. And now,
too much time.
Yep, delay of game against Erie. Well, every little bit helps. Fort Morgan has been good on 1st down, good on 2nd down, but defensively awful on 3rd down. They have been unable to stop Erie in this game. 1st and 15 for the 40 from the pistol. And now the inside receiver Vera takes off. He was 4 yards down the field. Now it's 1st and 20. Well, that's a way to stop him, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah, let them shoot themselves in the foot.
False start for Erie. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Tigers.
Fort Morgan, I don't believe, has committed a penalty in the game. However, to me, a turnover like that is worth 2 or 3 penalties minimum, especially on your own side of the field. 1st and 20 for the Mustang 45. Again, pistol formation. Mendoza hands it off to Vivi, up the middle, down to the 41. Nothing fancy there.
Mendoza's hand off to Vivi, taken up to the
Chavez,
41-yard line.
the first one in on the hit.
It'll be
for the Mustangs, and Nick Norris also made the play. 2nd down and 16 to go. Again, Vivi's been contained nicely here. Yeah, He's got 17 yards on 9 carries.
Oh, yeah, they've done a nice job. I'm waiting for him to. Well, he has bounced it out somewhat, and Fort Morgan's been there to take him down.
From the 41, 2nd down and 16. Again, pistol formation. Mendoza play action, looks to his left, heaves it up the left sideline. Marquez is out there, intercepted.
Oh, no.
Marquez picked it off.
Are they going to call that pass interference?
Oh, that's terrible if they call that. There's no way that's pass interference. That is terrible. Marquez had the inside position and picked it off at the 5. You got to be kidding me.
Oh,
there is a flag on the play.
There is no way that should be pass. Marquez turned around. The ball was underthrown, and Marquez made the play.
Yeah, that's terrible if that's what it is.
That is awful.
That's terrible.
What an incredibly awful call there made by the official. I mean, there was no contact along the near sideline. The ball was underthrown. Marquez picked it off. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. Ty Davies he's going crazy over there.
Yeah, has a right to.
I mean, come on. How do you make that call? That's atrocious.
And Marquez was talking to the ref that threw it. Find out just what he had done. But he didn't do anything wrong.
On the 26-yard line.
He turned around, he made a play on the ball. There was no collision there. And Ty Davies is several yards out into the field.
It'll be second and
he is
about
livid.
A foot for the Tigers.
Second down and about a yard to go. It's not an automatic first down at the 26. I mean, you don't want to give them the game here. Come on. Pistol formation. Mendoza hands it off to Vivi. Stutter stepping to his left. He's going to be hitting the backfield. No gain. And then a late fumble, but he was down. This will be third down. Caden Edson, Ernie Sandoval in on the hit.
No progress on that play. It'll be third and 1.
I hope Erie makes a mistake or something, because that you cannot make that call there. You can't make that call. That is awful.
3:40 remaining in the half. Remember, at halftime we'll have performances by Erie High School Palms.
A game of this importance.
Marching band.
Have a call like that.
Well, I mean, the receiver was never slowed down. I mean, that's an NFL call. I hate to say it. Third down and 1 at the 26. Mendoza bobbles the ball. That's Vivi, direct snap. He's got a first down. He just kept going to the 22, maybe the 21. And that was off the bobble, but he picked up 4 yards, and that's one of his bigger carries of the night. With 3:09 to go, second quarter, Erie
Tigers
13.
punch it through, and up for an
Fort
Erie
Morgan
Tiger
7.
first down.
And again, we're going to be looking back at this pass interference if Erie scores in this possession.
Yeah,
even if they don't score on this possession,
line.
Fort Morgan should have the ball.
Yeah, that was terrible.
First down and 10 from the Mustang 22-yard line. Gavin Mendoza with 2 touchdown passes, a 7-yarder to Aaron Vera, and a 63-yarder to Vivi. Mendoza handoff. Vivi bounces it to the left side. Flag is down. He's going to score, but that's coming back.
Yeah.
22 yards away, but that's coming back. Somebody was held along the line of scrimmage. But see, that was a legitimate flag. I saw a stretch of the jersey here. And that will be
holding called on the Tigers
against Erie. And that was thrown immediately. That to me was pretty obvious, Brian. Erie doesn't like it, but they've already gotten a huge break. It'll be first down and 19. The ball set back at the 31-yard line. 2:34 to go. Now Fort Morgan's got to make a big play defensively and keep this Erie offense out of the end zone. And they've been sloppy on this drive. They've had 3 penalties now for 20 yards. Fort Morgan's pass interference penalty was the first one they've committed in the game.
The 33-yard line.
That's been their biggest play on this drive for Erie was a penalty.
First and 19 at the Mustang 31. Pistol formation. Mendoza, play action, looks to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. Deep over the middle. Receivers out there incomplete. In the back of the end zone, Jacob Ortega defended that very nicely, intended for Van Landingham. Second down and 19. Brian, what you have to be aware of is a possibility of a screen, which really hurt Fort Morgan on Erie's first drive.
Right. Yeah, they were trying to get some pressure on him. Nick Norris coming in from that left side, but so far they haven't really got close to him to put a lot of pressure on him.
Second down, 19 yards to go for Erie at the Mustang 31. Fort Morgan's touchdown was a 4-yard run by Frankie Ortega. From the pistol, 2 receivers out to the right. Gavin Mendoza is going to roll that way. Still rolling. He throws on a run, incomplete. Intended for Van Landingham at the 18-yard line.
Pass incomplete.
Well defended by Caden Edson. Third down. And if this is going to be, well, you know what? If you're at the 31, this could still be 4-down territory.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's what you got to watch out for the screen here. They ran it beautifully the first time. And the way you do that, you have to shadow Mason Vivi. Because Vivi hasn't done much running, but he's got 2 receptions for 94 yards, including a touchdown.
Yeah, they need a defensive back that's going to have Vivi on his.
They might have to take a timeout. The play clock is running down, and Erie takes their final timeout.
And a timeout called
with
by
2:20 to go
in
the second quarter.
13-7 the score with 2:20 remaining in the first half.
Erie with a 6-point advantage. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the
Any
business.
Tiger fans looking to buy or sell a home,
Quality,
Jen
commitment, and
Ellison is the perfect
experience
fit for you. She prides
makes
herself on
Buildings
being
by Design the only
helping
choice
every family find a house that perfectly
when it
fits
comes
their
to your
needs.
next project. Buildings
Jen's
by
been helping
Design.
people buy and sell real estate in the Denver metro area.
As
and
Brian has
surrounding
alluded
areas
to, the
since
Mustangs win, they'll be
2013.
home
Whether
either
you're
Friday
looking to
night
buy
or
a new
Saturday
home, sell your current
in the
home, or
opening
buy
round
an
of the
investment
3A
property,
playoffs. If
Jen
they
Elliston
lose,
Realty can help you meet your goals.
well, the
Visit her
Mustangs
online today at JenEllistonRealty.com.
would then make the playoffs more than likely for the second straight year, but for the second straight year, they would be on the road.
Right.
And last year, Brian, it was a long trip to Grand Junction where the Mustangs, the 16 seed, lost to the top seed Palisade. 3rd down and 19 to go for Erie at the Mustang 31. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Now Mason Vivi lines up on the inside slot. Mendoza, quick drop, pressure coming, heaves it deep up the middle. Wide open touchdown in the back of the end zone. Holy Mahungus, the Mustangs just not there defensively.
Mendoza's
31
pass.
yards away to Grayson Schenbeck. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Mendoza. And Erie now leads 19 to
My
7.
apologies. It was Mason Vivi on the reception.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was. He's wrong. It was Schenbeck.
Yeah, it was number 6.
Now the extra point. Well, now that, but you know what? You have to overcome bad calls, and they had a chance there.
Dominic
3rd and
Contevio
19.
set to
Fort
kick
Morgan
the
has been
point
awful
after.
on 3rd down defensively tonight. The extra point is right inside the left upright. We'll keep it
It
right
was
here.
Grayson Schenbeck. With
20
that
to 7.
touchdown reception, the extra point good.
With
The score
2:12 to
now,
go.
Erie 20, Fort Morgan 7.
Brian, I'm going to tell you this. I had a major concern last week, and we saw this against Niwot. They had 2 consecutive drives with receivers wide open in a game that was decided. But at that point, and this can happen. This can happen in games where you have big leads regardless of the sport, and you might develop some sloppy habits there.
Yep.
And we've seen it here in this game where you've had 2 wide open receivers. I mean, they're wide open by 3-4 yards.
Yeah, and they're not dropping the ball.
Right.
You know, we've seen, as you said, seen it in earlier games where the receivers have dropped the ball when they were wide open. But these
Daltavio set to kick off for the Tigers.
That's a good point.
These Erie Tigers aren't dropping the ball.
137 yards passing and 3 touchdowns for Mendoza. Mustangs have got to answer here before the break, and they do receive the second half kickoff, so they could change the momentum of this game. This is a very short kick. It'll be fielded at the 11 by Sarinana to the 20-yard line. Stutter stepping, and the ball is loose, and Erie's got it again. He was
Fort
tripped,
Morgan fumbled
and
the
Fort
ball.
Morgan, which has been great on special
Erie
teams this
Tigers
year,
with the recovery.
has made a big mistake
The
tonight.
24-yard line. Erie Tigers,
Wow.
1st and 10.
Wow, recovered by Caleb Tyson. Or Thiessen, however you want to pronounce it. Erie's in big-time business at the 24. With 2:05 to go. Fort Morgan felt good about themselves. Up 7-6. They had this Erie team in a 3rd down and long situation. And since the touchdown pass to Mason Vivi from 63 yards, it hasn't been the same for the Mustangs.
No, you can't be giving the ball up like this.
2 receivers split out to the left from the 24-yard line. Mendoza's going to roll out to his left. Still rolling. Throws on the run. The pass is complete underneath. That is caught
Mendoza's pass
at
complete
about
to Will Kana,
the
number 16.
18-yard line to Kana, maybe the 17. That's the one thing Fort Morgan
Ball
hasn't
at the
needed the
18-yard
passing
line.
game.
It'll be 2nd and 4.
The gain is 6. Mendoza is now 6 out of 9, and there's the give to Vivi running right, and he runs into a couple of Mustangs. He's down at the line of scrimmage. Fort Morgan
Vivi's
very good
carry
against the run tonight.
back to the
Sandoval,
line of scrimmage.
Langford,
Brings up
Norris,
3rd
they
and
were
4
all
for
right
the Tigers.
there.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's shutting down the run pretty good, but they're getting burned on the pass. And that might have been what Roosevelt did. They shut them down fairly well, but they got torched on the pass.
3rd down and 4 to go for the Mustang 18. And they have no timeouts left, but it doesn't matter because they're in the red zone. We have 1:02 to go. Naked backfield. Mendoza on 3rd and 4. Quick drop, looking, hit as he throws. The pass is incomplete on the slant. And that pressure.
Pass incomplete.
Let's see, who supplied that pressure for the Mustangs? Up the middle. Miko Yanez.
Yep.
Right up the gut. And that was big-time pressure, Brian, because Mendoza had to get rid of it earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah, this is what they were. That was what they were looking for, a little pressure. They're gonna.
Pass was intended for Josh Bradford.
Well, D'Ottavio, he's going to attempt a field goal here from 34 yards away. He certainly has the leg.
Tigers appear to be setting up for a field goal.
Yeah, you got to watch out for a fake.
D'Ottavio out on the field.
34 yards out. We'll call it the 35. Here come the Mustangs. The kick is up, and that one looks good from here, and it is right down the middle.
The field goal is good.
48 seconds to go, a 35-yard field goal.
Now lead 23-7 over the Fort Morgan
Dominic
Mustangs.
D'Ottavio.
With 48 seconds remaining in the first
with a
half.
16-point lead. That's a big play there. Big field goal.
Yep.
Very short drive, but
10 points off of turnovers.
Yep.
Tiger fans,
the Mustangs have 0 off of turnovers because Erie hasn't committed one yet.
State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse. Take care of all your insurance needs. Jeannie has been serving the Erie community for over 17 years and would like to serve
17
you as well.
unanswered points for
Jeannie a call
Erie.
Today at 303-828-4002. Or
Well,
visit
time for the
online
Mustangs
at
to answer.
Jeannie at JeannieHulse.com.
You desperately have
like
to
a
answer
good
right
neighbor,
now.
State Farm is there.
Yep. You can't give it up anyway. You can't give them the ball back here with 48 seconds left.
Well, they're killing Fort Morgan on time of possession because the Mustangs fumbled on back-to-back plays, one on offense and one on special teams. So here we go, D'Ottavio to kick it off. Will either Sarinana or Ortega deliver a big run back. That's what they need with only one timeout remaining in the opening half. Line drive towards the sideline, and it's fielded at the 14-yard line, across the 25 to the 30. And let's see, that might have been Sarinana still going. Wow. And down at about the 31.
Morgan's return back to the 31-yard line.
Well, let's see what happens right now.
They've got
but
39 seconds, and
you're on the road. You're -2 in the turnover
first
margin.
and 10 Fort Morgan.
Erie, I'm guessing, Brian, has got to be like 9 out of 9 or something like that on third down. As you mentioned, they converted a fourth down on the opening drive, so you haven't come up with a big play when you've needed it. First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 32-yard line. Briggs Wheatley has yet to attempt a pass. Check that. I got that wrong. 2 passes and both complete for a total of 8 yards. Under center from the 32 will the Mustangs run the ball. Looks like a run formation, and this will be up the middle. Sandoval to the 40. Sandoval dragged down from behind. First down at the 45.
Fort Morgan.
Maybe the 46 at the gain of 13.
Brought down by Ian Vera.
For Ernie Sandoval, Mustangs back up to the line of scrimmage. Clock running. You've only got 26 seconds to go. There's the give. Right side to the outside and down at the 50s. Frankie Ortega. Mustangs better take a timeout here.
Morgan's number 4.
Just to try a Hail Mary, maybe.
Brought down by Dylan Hall, number 20. Brings up a 2nd and 5 from the 50-yard
9 seconds to go. 8, and then he'll spike it. Wheatley spikes the ball with 7 seconds to go.
Morgan stops the clock.
You know what? I mean, he's got the arm to throw it into the end zone, but, hey, a hook and ladder may be something tricky.
Yeah.
Erie has no timeout, so they can't figure out how to defend this other than just to take 2 or 3 of their defenders back. But Fort Morgan, if they run a quick play, can stop the clock. 3rd down and 5 from midfield. Direct snap to Wheatley, hands it off to Ortega, running to his left, back to the middle to the 45-yard line. Clock's going to run out. Ortega's down at the 44. It's a gain of 6, but that is the end.
And that ends the first
of
half
the
of
opening
play.
half.
Tigers lead 23-7 over
with the
Fort
score.
Morgan Mustangs.
Erie
Remember, we
23,
have performances from
Fort
the
Morgan 7.
Palm team.
It's a 2-minute break on B106
well as
and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mustang Halftime Show is brought to you by B&B Appliance. They can help you with all of your appliance needs. Stop in and see what they can do for you on Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. That's B&B Appliance. John Beltran with Brian Nickell.
more time
The Mustangs
for
trail
your
Erie
2019 varsity Erie Palms.
23-7. Let's go through the scoring so far here in the opening half, Brian.
Yeah, Erie took the opening kickoff. Excuse me, they went 15 plays. 80 yards, took almost 9 minutes off the clock, 8 minutes and 58 seconds on a 7-yard pass to...
Yeah, that was Ian Vera.
To Vera. And the PAT was blocked, so they were up 6-0. Fort Morgan answers on their next drive, 64-yard drive, 4-yard run by Frankie Ortega. The PAT was good. Put the Mustangs up 7-6. Erie on their next possession goes 78 yards, 37-yard pass to Vivi, or 64-yard pass, from the 37, 64-yard pass to Vivi. PAT was good with 7:22 left in the first period.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
13-7.
welcome to the field the Erie High School Marching Band.
Mustangs get the ball, they fumble the ball. Erie
Tonight's musical selection
on their next
will be
possession
Believer,
have
made
to go
famous
45
by Imagine
yards.
Dragons. Pompeii, made
A
famous by
31-yard
Bastille,
touchdown pass
and Mic Drop,
to,
made famous by BTS.
Grayson Schenbeck.
Thank you.
We'd like to recognize
And
our seniors
PAT
one
was
more
good
time
once
as they
again,
come out onto the
20-7.
field.
Fort
Joey
Morgan
Beeler, Wyatt Barons,
on the
Grayson
ensuing
Blaylock,
kickoff, the Mustangs
Jack
fumble
Cook,
the
Alex
kick.
Flynn, Connor
Erie
Freed,
gets the
Tim
ball
Fritchie,
at the
Ashley
24
Gustafson,
and have
Andrew
to settle
Hockmeister,
for a
Lavona Hiley,
34-yard
Madison Harper,
34-yard
Courtney
field
Hull,
goal.
Noah
Puts them
Ice,
up
Cameron
23-7
Maddie
here
Malon,
as we are at halftime.
All right, the
Matthew
Mustangs
Martin,
are being
Bo
outgained
Miley, Matthew
203 to
Nelson,
90.
Don O'Hara, Ashley Ross,
They're
Reagan
introducing
Russell,
the entire
Alex
band.
Temple,
Wow.
Skylar Temple,
The entire band.
and Santi Jean.
Well, maybe not. Okay, anyway, let's
Let's
go
give
through.
those seniors some love
The
tonight,
difference in the
folks.
game has been the passing. Gavin Mendoza is 6 out of 10 for 137 yards, and you mentioned the 3 touchdowns. They've only got 60 yards on the ground, 39 by Mendoza on 6 carries and 21 by Vivi on 12 carries. But again, 203 yards of total offense. Fort Morgan only has the 90 yards, and it's primarily on the ground. Frankie Ortega, 7 carries for 45 yards. Ernie Sandoval, 1 for 13. Briggs Wheatley, 3 for 12 and a fumble. Stadinana, 2 for 6. Jacob Ortega, 1 for 6. And that's been it. Briggs Wheatley is 2 out of 3 passing for 8 yards. The Mustangs have got to crank it up. They've got to stop them on third down in the second half, and they've got to generate some offense. And they did it with that first drive, but they have not been able to hang on to the football. I think the offense, when they're hanging on to the football, Brian, actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah, they were moving the ball pretty good. You know, they were getting 3-4 yards a crack there, and moving the ball down the field. But you can't be turning the ball over. It's as you can see, as we telling the people, out there in radio land, that they're down 23-7, 17 unanswered points, and 10 of those came off of turnovers. So you've got to hang on to the ball. You can't be turning the ball over to a good offense like this.
It's a 1-minute break. We'll come back with a second half of the Mustang halftime show after this on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran with Brian Nickell as we head to the third quarter, and the Mustangs trailing the Erie Tigers in Erie 23-7. Brian, you look back at this season so far. First game of the year, down 7-0 to Brush in the third. Mustangs scored 20 second half points to win the game 20-7. They are down 14-6 in the third quarter against Lutheran. They win that game with a strong second half, 15-14. Down 19-0 to Thomas Jefferson in the third. They come back and lose by only 3. Down 21-0 against Conifer. They lose 35-28. Down late in the game against Roosevelt. And they tie the game and go to overtime and win by 1. So if we're going to see anything emblematic of what Fort Morgan has done this season, it's got to happen here in the second half, because they have done it many times before here in 2019.
Yeah, it's something they can do, that's for darn sure, and they need to do it with this first offensive. They're going to get the ball to start off the second half, and they're going to have to go down and answer. They can't give it up on downs or fumble it or punt it on this if they want to keep in this game. they've got to go
Hey,
down
Erie Tigers, if you're
they've got
looking
to go
for a
down
way
and
to warm
score
up for the second half of tonight's
on the
game,
drive
head on
or
over to the
score off the
concession
kickoff.
stand for a cup of hot chocolate.
Well,
compliments of Caraway.
let's point out that neither team punted in the opening half.
Quarter of tonight's game, enjoy a cup
Fort
of hot
Morgan
chocolate.
had a big turnover.
Dr. Caraway. If that
And then
doesn't
they
warm you
also
up, I don't know what
ended
will.
the first
On
half.
behalf of Dr. Caraway and his team.
So what,
have
Fort
a
Morgan
fun
only
and
had,
safe
what, 3
evening,
possessions,
and
I think, in
go
the first
Erie
half.
Tigers.
Yeah, that's Erie just, they just drained the clock, and Fort Morgan's drive wasn't all that long. About 5 minutes, not quite 5
Tigers
minutes
are
off
set
the
to
clock.
kick off.
Erie took 9 minutes off the clock on their first drive.
Dominic D'Ottavio to kick it off high and short and fielded at the 16 by Sarinana along the left side across the 30. And he's down at the 32. The Mustangs committed 2 turnovers
32-yard
in the opening half.
Return.
And now because you're down 16,
Mustangs.
if the Mustangs score, they'll probably go for 2. Although it's early in the third. But you can make this a 1-score game with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. And that big 35-yard field goal by D'Ottavio late in the second quarter has also made a significant difference.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mustang defense did a nice job on that drive to hold them to a field goal.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
They better get with it. They're down to about. Yep.
You got to be kidding me. That's horrible. Fort Morgan called for a delay of game
on the Mustangs.
Yeah, you got to be better than that. I mean, Mustang coaches cannot be happy about that, but I don't know how much of that is on the players.
From the 18
and that's not a good start to the second half. Now you open up a 1st and 15 at your own 27. I mean, I could understand if that's a few plays into the possession, but not the very first play. Before the first play from the 27. And there's Wheatley keeping it himself. He's got a big hole spinning across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
8, Wheatley Briggs with the keeper.
And let's see, it's a gain of 10 yards for
5
Wheatley.
yards out of that carry. It'll be 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5.
From the 37-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there by Briggs. Holding on to that ball. He had both hands on it. Erie is digging at the ball.
The Mustangs are bringing in a new left guard. I don't know if there was an equipment issue there. 2nd down and 5 to go from the 37. Opening drive of the third quarter. Pistol formation. Wheatley is going to roll out to his right. Still rolling. Pressure coming. Takes off with the football. He's across the 40-yard line, and he's down right there for a gain of 3.
Fort Morgan makes it out to the 40-yard line.
Wheatley
3rd and 2.
He's got some nice moves because he could have been hit in the backfield. Tackle was made over there by Josh Bradford. 3rd down and 2 to go for Fort Morgan. Wheatley had just 12 yards on 3 carries in the opening half. He's got 12 yards on 2 carries already here in the first minute of the third quarter. From the 40-yard line, Baxton and I. There's the give to Sandoval, and he bowls his way for a 1st down off of right tackle to the 44. Sandoval with a 2nd carry. He's got
Morgan
17 yards.
Enough for a 1st and 10.
Some excellent blocking there.
Ball on the
by the right side of the
line.
line as David Grossi was able to make the hit for Erie. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. It's not a hurry-up offense. It's a no-huddle offense. There's a difference there. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. In the backfield is Frankie Ortega. Wheatley, play action, looking to throw. Deep over the middle, wide open, complete at the 35-yard line. Jacob Ortega, a perfect throw delivered by Briggs Wheatley. And it's a gain of 22 to the 34-yard line.
At the 34-yard line.
Nice job there by Jacob to get open there. He was just an in route about 20 yards downfield there.
And wide open.
Yep.
From the 34 of Erie. 1st and 10, Ortega's in motion to the right, has it on the jet sweep, cuts it back, and now to the outside. I don't know why he did that. Jacobs got to keep cutting it to the inside, and he gains only a yard. He had daylight.
Defense big and strong.
You're not going to run around these guys, but you might be able to run in between them, and he ran right into Keaton Dynison. It's a gain just about a yard, a long yard.
It'll be 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 from inside the 33 of Erie. I thought he had something on the inside there.
Yeah,
Brian.
Yeah, you can't be jitterbugging. You gotta cut it up and put your head down and go for it.
Backs it an eye from the 33. Whately hands it off to the deep back Ortega to the outside of the 30. He continues to drive inside the 30 to the 27 for a gain of 6. Frankie Ortega's run the ball very well tonight. 8 carries now for 51 yards.
And 3
third down and 3 to go for Fort Morgan. Certainly 4 down territory. 8:42 to go third quarter. Right up to the line of scrimmage. Under centers Whately. Mustangs trail 23-7. Did we have some movement there? No, offsides against Erie. That's a first down. Yeah, they lined up offsides.
Penalty on the Tigers.
Well, I mean, Brian, there are times in this game that I'm convinced that Fort Morgan is the better team.
Yeah, ball plays at the 22-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Fort Morgan.
But you cannot be that weak defensively. Let's see who's coming into this. Is that Fajardo there, 33 for Fort Morgan.
Yes, Braden Fajardo.
From the 22, Whately with a naked backfield actually hands it off to Ortega. He was lined up to his right. He just had nobody behind him. Inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Bodies go flying with Ortega and an Erie defender. And for Ortega, that's a gain of about, well, we'll give him 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 to go. Just inside the 17. Fort Morgan trying to cut into this deficit of 16 points. Whately back to pass. To his left, the pass is complete on the slant to Ortega. He is hit hard,
Ortega,
but a first down, 1st and goal.
8-yard line.
He was tattooed at the 8, but it's a gain of 9. And Jacob took some major contact there, Brian.
Sorry, yeah, he took a big hit there.
From the 8.
second defender that came in hit him about shoulder high with the forearm, it looked like.
A little bit higher, that would have drawn a flag.
Yeah.
1st and goal at the 8. The Mustangs on their opening drive of the third quarter. Frankie Ortega is the running back to the left of Whately. And Whately keeps the football, tries to break out of a tackle, still driving, and he lunges to about the 7, maybe the 6. He stuck that ball in the gut of Frankie, and Frankie was getting hit,
Mustangs,
and he pulled it right back out.
Good for a yard.
I mean, Briggs Whately is a surgeon running this offense beautifully. It's a gain of 1, and that could have been a loss of 1 or 2 on the play.
Yeah, good job by Briggs to pull that back out and get what he could.
Fort Morgan is not panicking because they've chewed up over 5 minutes of game time. 2nd and goal from the 7. Whately, they're coming on a blitz. Whately stops, runs to his left, has running room along the sideline to the 5. Whately scores! Briggs Whately with some beautiful moves from 7 yards out. And the Mustangs now make this a 10-point game. It's Erie 23, Fort Morgan 13.
Yeah, that was all Briggs on that one. They came with the all-out blitz on him, and then he just tucked it and got into the outside and had a nice block downfield by Jacob Ortega.
And they're not panicking here. It's early in the third. They'll go for the extra point from Adam Cardona. Oh, they're almost an offside, I think.
No, but Morgan moved. I think the right guard moved.
Yep. False start.
False start on Fort Morgan.
Yeah, you're still going to kick the extra point, but this is going to make it a lot
Pushes
tougher.
The ball back 5 yards for Adam Cardona.
25-yard extra point for Adam Cardona. He's been very good this year. Could make this a 9-point game, still a 2-possession game. Here comes Erie. Mustangs moved again. I believe it's on the left guard because they're coming on that blitz. And, yeah, Mustangs are moving on the left side.
Yeah, it looks like they may say it's offsides on Erie.
Well, see, they're going to replace a lineman there, and it is offsides on Erie.
Offsides called on the Tigers.
So this will now be, once again, a conventional 20-yard extra point, maybe 21 here for Adam Cardona.
Cardona ready to kick from the original placement.
Awaiting the snap. It's there. The kick by Cardona is up. Oh, I think he hooked it. He hooked it big time.
The extra point
not
is
even
not
close
good.
to the left. 6:34 to go.
Erie Tigers 23.
In the third.
Fort Morgan Mustangs
Erie 23,
13.
Fort Morgan 13 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Morgan set to kick off to Erie.
Briggs Whately scores from 7 yards out on a masterful drive by the Mustangs to open up the second half, but they trail 23-13. Adam Cardona's extra point was wide to the left. Ortega to kick it away. And if the Mustangs can't stop Erie, they're going to have to do something unconventional like an onside kick or a squib, something to force a turnover, because Erie has not committed any. This will be a deep kick right up to the 5-yard line. A fake handoff, running right with all types of running room to the outside is Mason Vivi across the 35 to the
Mason
37.
Vivi on the return.
Before the tackle was made by Leo Luna, but that's a nice return. Erie's got some of their best field
Out
position
to
of
the
the night.
38-yard line where the Tigers will take over. 1st and 10.
And stopping the run has not been an issue for Fort Morgan, but the pass has been a disaster. 143 passing yards in the opening half for Gavin Mendoza. And it's at the 38, and at this point, Fort Morgan's got to do something defensively. Down by 10 with 6:25 to go in the third. 2 receivers out to the left from the pistol formation. Gavin Mendoza will hand it off to Vivi, cutting it back towards the middle. Tries to break out of a tackle, but he's down.
Vivi with the carry out
after
to the
a gain of
40-yard
2.
line.
Brian Paxton made the hit
Brings
along
up
with
2nd
Cale
and
Langford.
7 for the
Second
Tigers.
down and 8 to go for Erie. 13 carries now for only 23 yards for Vivi.
Yeah, the defense has done a nice job. It looks like he's going to break it open, then all of a sudden that hole closes. But they've done a great job containing him.
Mendoza 5 yards behind center, awaiting the direct snap. Man in motion to the right. Mendoza will keep it himself back up the middle. He's got some yardage across the 40 to
Mendoza
the
with
44.
the keeper.
Gain of 4. Juan
Out to the
Chavez
44-yard line.
in on the hit.
Brings up
Third down and 4
for
to
the
go
Tigers.
for Erie. Mendoza now has put together 43 yards on 7 carries. This is not necessarily 4-down territory unless it gets to about a 4th and 1.
Right.
As Brian alluded to in the opening half on their first drive, it was 4th and 1 at the 39, and they went for it, had a quarterback keeper and picked it up. 2 receivers out to the left. Naked backfield. Mendoza, quick drop, still looking along the sideline. Incomplete. Vivi dropped it at
Mendoza's
the 50.
pass.
That was a perfect pass. It would have been a
Mason
first
Vivi,
down defended by
incomplete.
Ortega, but it's dropped, and
Brings
the
up
Mustangs get a huge break there.
4th and 4
Brian,
for the Tigers.
that's almost like a mini turnover.
Yep. Now, the Mustangs can't jump off sides.
Well, yeah, you can't go for the block here. Not in a 4th and 4. Yeah, look how far they're off the ball.
Yep.
Not sure. I'm trying to track the number of the punter. Yeah, you got to stay back. You got to watch that football and not listen to the snap count. 4th and 4 from the 44. First punt of the game by either side. Perfect snap. Here comes the pressure. And
crap.
Nick Norris runs right into the punter. The ball is going to bounce at the 32-yard line. That might be even roughing the punter. And that's a huge mistake by the Mustangs. And the drive will continue for Erie.
Play,
They're saying they're
Yeah, it's a personal foul.
roughing the kicker.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
yeah. They
Called
were
against Fort Morgan.
coaches are trying to say that it was tipped, but I don't believe so.
Not even close. Jaden
No.
George, the punter, and Erie's drive will continue. And Brian, let's just chalk that up as a 3rd turnover committed by Fort Morgan.
Yep. Yeah, that's
I mean, you cannot go for the block there unless you're certain. And that's an excellent call. I hate to say it. But now Erie's got it at the Fort Morgan 41-yard line. And being George, he sold that very well. It might
Yep.
have
So the
might have
ball
only
placed
been
at
running
the
into the punter, but it didn't matter. It'd be a first down anyway.
41-yard
Yep.
line.
yeah. The first down is only 4th and
Of the Mustangs.
4th and 4. So
Yeah, you've got to play for possession. I mean,
1st and 10 Erie.
if Erie scores here, you can almost put it away. There's the handoff of the jet sweep to the 40-yard line. Nice tackle by Ortega at the 38.
Will Connor with the carry for the
Connor
Tigers.
with a carry for a gain of 3.
We have an
And
injured player on the field.
Now we got a flag down, and
Somebody-
a Mustang is down.
somebody.
That's Cale Langford, who took a hit at the 40, and he's reeling in pain. Right there, that's a big loss if he's done for the game.
Looks like maybe a leg injury. I can't tell. Just it looked like he was holding his. I thought his left leg, but he's been moving it. So
It's at the 38-yard line, but What a huge mistake that was.
Yeah.
You cannot run into the punter.
They had what momentum there was on their side. They go down, take the opening kickoff, score a touchdown. Did miss the extra point. Defense hold them to 4th down and 4, and momentum all of a sudden goes back to Erie.
Yeah, and it's tough to stop this team twice, essentially on the same possession.
Yeah.
Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you at State Farm Insurance, 842-4555, and Kale's really tough. So if he's not getting up, it's got to be fairly severe. It's got to be fairly severe. And Colorado Plains Medical Center's experienced physicians and highly trained staff make your hometown hospital the place for expert quality care. Colorado Plains Medical Center, helping communities thrive.
Yeah, Cale Langford, as you said, he is
really
tough. A tough character out there, and he's.
Yeah, the helmet is off.
Yeah, he's sitting up. I believe he's sitting up. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like he's going to need some help to get off this field.
I think his left leg is.
It might have got pinned underneath. And no, he's getting some help, but not too bad.
Cale Langford coming off the field under his own power.
Well,
no, he's getting some assistance there. Yeah, he's getting some assistance. I'm not sure what the public address announcer's seeing, but
he's putting some weight on that leg anyway.
Right, right. So it looks pretty good from here. I think he just got it pinned under. I don't think it's an ACL or anything like that.
Once again, 2nd and 6. The Tigers driving from the 38-yard line.
2nd down and 7 from the 38 of Fort Morgan. Erie leads 23-13 with 4:43 to go in the clock, running in the 3rd. Out of the pistol, Gavin Mendoza with Vivi behind him. Vivi has the carry, stutter stepping. He fumbles the ball, and the Mustangs got a fall on it, and somebody picks it up for Fort Morgan at the 45. The Mustangs have it.
Hand off to Vivi, fumbled.
Let's see who picked up that football.
Recovered by the Mustangs.
Did you see? Boy, they get
tell
rid of the football so quickly. That might have been Chris Schneider, but I'm not sure. Somebody picked it up and gave it back to the official quickly. It's at the 46.
1st and 10.
Oh, you needed that badly, Brian. Yep. So that offsets a mistake there committed on special teams. And Vivi was going to be thrown for a 2-yard loss. So Vivi's had a tough 3rd quarter. He drops a 1st down pass. And now Fort Morgan is only 54 yards away from making this closer. Plenty of time to go. 4.5 in the 3rd. Erie leads by 10 in Erie. Briggs Wheatley standing at his own 41. 5 yards behind center. Is back to throw. Plenty of protection. Deep up the right side, incomplete. Jacob Ortega, well defended at the 26 of Erie.
Number 8, Briggs Wheatley.
2nd down.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
And 10 to go.
6-yard line.
That's something that he'll learn. He'll only be a sophomore, but you got to put a little air into that and let him run under it. That was like a dart being thrown down there, and it was just over his head. You got to be able to let him run under that, put some air under it, and give him a chance to run under that.
Well,
football.
Either that, Brian, or look for a secondary receiver. I think his eyes were pinned on Ortega the whole time. But you're right. You got to put some air under to give him a shot. 2nd down and 10 from their own 46. Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega, swinging it to the outside, and he drives to the 49, but that's it. He's driven back after a gain of 3.
Ortega with the carry.
Frankie Ortega's had a productive game.
About 3 yards
Fort Morgan is now in a situation
3rd and 7 for the Mustangs.
Where it's 3rd and 7. They don't want to punt this away right back to Erie.
Mustangs 49.
We're approaching the late moments of the 3rd with under 4 minutes to go. Braden Fajardo is into the game. Cardona and Ortega along with Fajardo, 3 receivers to the left. Fernando Marquez to the right. On 3rd down and 7 for Fort Morgan at their own 49-yard line. Trailing 23-13. The Mustangs have the only points of the 3rd quarter. Ortega's in the backfield. Wheatley, 3-step drop. He throws, and it's underthrown to Marquez on a slant at the 42. Pass. And that's on the quarterback. And the Mustangs will have to punt.
For the Mustangs.
Yeah, he was open coming
for
across
4,
there.
Fernando Marquez.
Coming across there, and he just threw it into the
ground. Brings up 4th and 7 from the 49-yard
That's too bad.
line.
Briggs has thrown the ball pretty well, but the 2 throws on this possession were a little bit shaky.
Mustangs appear to be set to punt.
Frankie Ortega to punt. I don't think there'll be a fake called here. I think you're going to play straight up football. And Frankie gets
Pin
it
it
off.
back.
That's a gorgeous fluttering punt. Fair catch is called at the 14-yard line.
Catch from Erie's number 17,
And that is
Owen Masters.
Owen Masters with a fair catch, and you might have to come up with a turnover here if you're Fort Morgan.
The Tigers will
3:29
start
to go in the
first
third.
and 10.
Yeah, you got to stop them again.
They don't have one of their better linebackers out there in Cale Langford. He was hurt on the previous possession. It's at the 15-yard line. Yeah, that one hurt there, Brian. They had a shot. They had really good field position. But they came out of the possession with a deep throw, which is it's an interesting call when you're going that deep down the field. It's got to be timed out perfectly. Mustangs thought they saw something. It didn't happen, unfortunately. From the pistol, Mendoza will hand it off and right up the gut to Vivi, and he dives to the 17, and that's it.
Vivi with the carry, a pickup of about 1.
See hurt? No, that's somebody else, a lineman for.
Second down and 8 to go. Yeah, but they're
Brings
getting
up
right
second
back
and
up.
9.
Wasn't down for long. Vivi now with 15 carries. Only 23 yards. Chris Schneider is getting off the field. I believe that's him, limping.
Yeah, yep.
We've had some players banged up in this game. Second down and 8 to go for Erie at their own 17-yard line. The Mustangs led 7-6 on a 4-yard touchdown run by Frankie Ortega. But Erie scored 17 unanswered. Briggs Wheatley with a 7-yarder here in the third. From the pistol, Gavin Mendoza, play action. He throws to his left. It's caught underneath at the 16-yard line and trying to jitterbug his way across the 20 to the 22, maybe the 23. Let's see if that is.
For the Tigers.
Who is that? It's not Schenbeck, I don't believe.
Brings up 3rd and 3 for Erie.
That's going to be
Bradford?
Yep,
From
that's
the
Josh
27-yard
Bradford.
line.
And the gain is 5
23-yard line.
to Bradford. Third down and 3 to go for Erie. Got to get to the 25. The Mustangs have not stopped Erie once in this game on a third down. Well, once on a drop pass.
Right.
They stopped themselves. On 3rd and 3, Mendoza is going to keep it himself, I believe. Nothing. Mustangs are right there for a loss. Back to the 20. Fort Morgan was not fooled. A loss of 2. They ran right into the middle of the line.
It'll be 4th and 5 for the Tigers.
And there were a bunch of Mustangs into the play. Count them, 2, 3, 4. And it's 4th down, and Erie now has to punt.
Tigers appear to be setting up the punt.
Boy, this could get interesting. You score on this possession.
Yeah, they got to take it down. The defense is doing their job right now. Now the offense has got to kick in.
Yeah, play for the return right now. Don't play for the block. Play for the return. Punter standing at his own 6-yard line. Awaiting the snap. It's a low snap, and the knee was nearly on the ground. And now Jacob Ortega will let it bounce. And he fields it at the 42-yard line. Reverses his field. Ortega trying to run to the outside. He's going backwards. Oh, where was Jacob going? You're not going to get around these guys running laterally. And there's also a flag down for, I believe, a block in the back.
On the return.
Yep.
Brian, they should have had the ball at the 40 or 45-yard line. Now it's going to be backed up probably inside their 30. But again, I mean, Jacob is not going. It's not because he's not a great athlete. It's because he's facing great athletes themselves.
Right.
This isn't facing a team that they beat by 40 points.
From the Mustangs.
Yeah, this is.
Wow.
And he's smart enough to know that. He's just getting caught up in the moment there and trying to get it all back in one play.
Yeah, that football is going to be at their own 24.
That takes the ball back to about the 24-yard line.
With a minute 14 to go in the third. Erie 23, Fort Morgan 13.
1st and 10.
This is pretty much a must-score situation because Erie knows how to take time off the clock.
Yep.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Can they put together a big play? The biggest run this year from Briggs Wheatley was a 63-yarder against Conifer when Fort Morgan was rallying in that game and fell short by 7 points. Here comes a blitz. Wheatley's going to take off with the football. All types of room to the 30. Wheatley to the 40. Gets a block to the 50. He stutter steps and goes out of bounds at the 48. Briggs Wheatley, what a quarterback this guy
Keeper
is.
from Briggs Wheatley
Briggs Wheatley with a gain of 28
Takes it out to the
and a first down for the
48-yard line
Mustangs.
of the
And a
Tigers
smart job of going out of
for first
bounds.
down.
Why,
Right.
why
These fans,
sacrifice your
remember,
body
at
for a
the end
couple
of
of
this
extra
quarter,
yards?
Get out your phone, turn on your flash. We're going to have
He did
some living on a
did
prayer.
a great job, and what a fake inside that
Folks on
Erie
both
just
sides
did
of
on
the
that.
field wave to each other.
First and 10 at the
Little
Erie
tradition we
48-yard
started this
line.
year. Not yet.
Yeah, Wheatley's a special quarterback. He's got so many skills. I don't know the last time the Mustangs had this good of a running quarterback.
No.
From the pistol formation at the 48 of Erie, first and 10. Briggs is going to roll out to his right, set up. He'll throw it deep towards the sideline, and it is incomplete. It was broken up by the Mustang receiver.
Wheatley's pass nearly intercepted.
That's
by
a
Erie.
great play by Jacob Ortega. Could have been picked off at the 35
It'll be
by
incomplete
Vera.
Pass, second and 10 from the 48. Coming up for the Mustangs.
The problem there, Brian, it was released late.
Had a flag on Erie. I didn't catch what.
No, you're right. You're right.
Holding, defensive holding.
That's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
Defensive holding penalty on the Tigers.
Well, you know what? A guy like Wheatley deserves a break like that. Because he makes so many good plays for the Mustangs. And again, it was an incompletion.
For the Mustangs.
First and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 38. 57 seconds to go in the third. Fort Morgan trails 23-13, but with a chance to make this a one-possession game. Frankie Ortega is the running back to the right of the quarterback, Wheatley. Out of the shotgun from the 38. Wheatley hands it off to Ortega up the middle, and a flag is down to the 34. And there was a holding penalty right there. You can see the Mustang take down the Erie defender.
34-yard line. It'll be
that was an easy call there. Easy call. They'll set them back to the 48 and first and 20. And again, these are like turnovers. Maybe not quite as severe because you can work out of this.
The officials walk off 10
It'll be
yards.
first and 19.
47-yard line.
There's a yard past the line of scrimmage. And again, the worst thing is that the clock runs.
First and 20 for the Mustangs.
And you have got to score on this possession. I think if Erie takes the ball with a 10-point lead early in the fourth quarter, Fort Morgan's chances are almost nil. So this is the drive for the Mustangs. First down and 19 at the 47. Backs in an eye. Ortega is the deep back. Wheatley, handoff, Sandoval, big hole up the middle, breaks a tackle, drops the ball, picks it up, and he's down at the 38-yard line. That's the second time of the game
40,
the Mustangs have put the ball on the ground and picked it up. Ortega did it earlier for a first down, and that time it's a gain of 10, second down and 10 to go, and that's the end of the third quarter. It's a 1-minute break. Erie 23, Fort Morgan 13 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with Brian Nickell, I'm John Beltran. We head to the fourth quarter. This is it, Brian. The Mustangs trail 23-13, but they've got a second down and 10 at the Erie 38-yard line. You've got to score on this possession. Can't stress it enough. They've got 3 plays to get 10 yards. Hopefully they can do it on this play. They just had a first and 20. Sandoval got 10. Coming on a blitz. Wheatley to throw. Deep over the middle. The pass is going to be incomplete. Marquez, the intended receiver at the 21, broken up by Grayson Schenbeck. Oh, man, that was a good defensive play
for the Mustangs.
And now Marquez gets up limping.
Great play by Grayson Schenbeck.
See, that's what the Mustangs don't have in the secondary, length.
Right.
Schenbeck's tall and lean. Cardona now checks in as a receiver to the right. Marquez to the left. Third down and 10. I think this is going to be Wheatley doing it with his legs, Brian. I think we're looking at a quarterback draw. He'll make this. He's either going to get a first down or make this about a 4th and 3 or something like that. Look for Wheatley here on a third down. Wheatley back to throw. Over the middle. Pass is caught. First down at the 21. That is Braden Fajardo.
Pass complete.
Nice job.
Wow.
There. Yep.
To number 33,
nice
Braden
job by the
Fajardo.
sophomore.
Let's see, they give him, the 22. It's a gain of 19. Boy, that was a beautiful pass. He was wide open from the 22. Ortega in the backfield. And this will be a give to Ortega, but there was no shot and no blocking there.
No.
Thrown for a loss. Even if Wheatley kept it, he would have been taken down.
Stop the Mustangs behind the line of scrimmage.
I think the offensive line has done a tremendous job tonight, Brian, but that was a lapse there. Loss of 2 for Ortega, 2nd down and 12 from the 24.
Yeah, you got to block better than that up front.
Erie with a 10-point lead early in the 4th. Marquez, the receiver, to the left. Ortega to the right. Again, Frankie the lone setback. More than likely a passing situation on 2nd and 12 from the 24. Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega. A nice hole that was closed quickly on the left side. Got back to the original line of scrimmage at the 22.
The carry for the Mustangs back to the original line of scrimmage.
3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
And 10 to go at the 22.
We'll see what they come up with this time. They had a nice pass play last time for Jardo, but I don't believe he's in right now.
Well, they've come on a couple of blitzes. And Wheatley was able to gain, 28 yards on a previous possession. Or it might have been this one. I'm trying to put those possessions together in my mind. 3rd down and 10 for the 22. From the pistol, Wheatley back to throw. Pressure up the middle. The throw up the middle is complete. A diving reception. Now let's see if Ortega has got the first down. I think he's got it right at the 13-yard line. Boy.
Yeah, well, they're saying he's just short.
Oh, boy, yep, short by a yard.
To the
14-yard
line. It'll be 4th and 1.
It's at the 14, and it looked like they came on a blitz. Nope, but they were not crossing the line of scrimmage. Fort Morgan's got to watch out here. It's at the 14. 4th and 1. You got to pick up a first down. Wheatley awaits a snap. Wheatley takes it himself. First down. Wheatley drives to the 11. It's a gain of 3 for Briggs Wheatley. I'm not sure why Erie was clapping. They didn't stop him there.
No.
I mean,
kept him out of the end zone, but
Mustangs carried to the 11-yard line, enough for a first down.
Keep the drive alive. That's what they need.
1st and 10 from the 11.
Jacob Ortega with that last catch has 3 catches for 40 yards.
A lot of time getting by.
That's the problem. 9:13 to go in the game, and Fort Morgan's got to get into the end zone quickly. Trailing 23-13. Then they got to stop them and score again. And they're taking a lot of time, Brian, a lot of time. This possession, when did this possession start? Late in the 3rd with 1:14 to go.
Yep.
So now they've chewed up almost 4.5 minutes. 1st and 10 from the 11. Wheatley back to throw. Deep, the fade into the end zone, and incomplete. Oh, in and out of the hands of Marquez. I don't know if the defender got a hand in there, but that looked like a sure touchdown.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the
And it's incomplete instead. Boy, that was a beautiful throw there by Wheatley, back shoulder, but Fernando couldn't bring it in. It does stop the clock, though, with 8:49 to go in the game.
Yeah, it was hard to tell clear across the field in the end zone down there whether he got it. The defender was right there. That's for darn sure anyway.
Fort Morgan has really outgained Erie in this half. Backs it an eye. 2nd down and 10 for the 11. Wheatley, there's a pitch right to Ortega. Cuts it back to the 10, and he's down right there. Tackled at the 10. Too many defenders there for Erie.
Mustangs runner.
Only a gain of 1.
Number
tackle was made by Jacob Farling. 3rd
Brings up
down.
3rd and 9, a key opportunity
and
for
9
the Tigers
for the
to
10.
make a stop.
Brian, the game is going to be determined now over the next 2 plays.
Yeah, they got two downs to get 9 yards.
On 3rd down and 9 for the 10. Wheatley back to throw to his left. Incomplete. I don't know. Oh, there's that interference. Yep, Fernando Marquez was taken down. It's going to be interference. Yeah, the throw was a little bit high and away from Marquez, but he was also taken down. This should place the ball. It's not an automatic first down, but it should place it about the 4.5.
Number of penalties on the field.
That looked uncatchable, Brian.
Interference called against
it was behind him.
But he did go to the ground. He did go to the ground, and that... See, I think that call was a lot more legit than the one called against Marquez. Now the football is going to be...
Ball placed on the 5-yard line.
Just inside the 5.
It'll be
this makes it a little bit easier. 3rd down and 3, a short 3. Well, now you can run the ball.
Yeah.
And that might be what they do here. Backs it an eye, 3rd and 3, inside the 5. Here's the gift. Sandoval, left side. He drives and he spins right at the marker. I think he's got a first down. He's at about the 2. Sandoval's had a great season. His junior year has been tremendous.
They're saying
the Mustangs with the carry.
4th down.
Not quite to the first down marker.
Well, you know what? You got to go with Wheatley here then. That ball at the 2? Yeah, that ball's just shy of the 2. This could be a quarterback keeper. Wheatley, quarterback keeper up the middle. Wheatley, oh, did they call a timeout? Erie called a timeout.
Fort Morgan.
Yep, you're right. Fort Morgan did call a timeout.
Timeout also called by the Tigers.
So somebody called a timeout.
You know what? That play, he might have been stopped short too.
Yeah. Did you call a timeout? Maybe I called a timeout.
I think we all called a timeout.
Yeah, the ref on this side was pointing towards Fort Morgan. The referee pointing towards Erie. So
okay, but it's 4th and inches at the 2-yard line. We have 7:36 to go in the game. Erie 23, Fort Morgan 13. The Mustangs were down by 16 at halftime, trying to make this perhaps a 3-point game. Adam Cardona missed a critical extra point, but Dominic D'Ottavio had one blocked for Erie, so both teams have had one extra point go the opposing team's way. Fort Morgan has committed 2 turnovers in the game. Erie committed 1 in this quarter, or in this half, I should say. It came in the 3rd quarter.
4th down and about
4th down and inches to go for the Mustangs at the Erie 2. So they can still pick up a first down.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, if you quick snap this or hand it off to your fullback, Sandoval's not been stopped tonight.
Right. Yeah, all they need is half a yard.
If even that. But it looks like half a yard. I guess you're right. Here we go. This place is jumping now. 4 yards behind center. Wheatley runs it right side. He's got a first down.
Yep.
Well, Erie thinks, I don't think he fumbled the ball. I think he's got a first down. Erie's thinking they stopped him.
Yeah, he's down inside the 1.
Well, let's see. This is close. I don't know if this is a slam dunk. Erie thinks they might have stopped him.
They're going to measure.
Well, that is awfully close.
They're bringing in the chains to measure.
But you're right, Brian. That ball is slightly inside the 1. But again, we can't tell from the angle.
1 yard line.
Erie was celebrating more than Fort Morgan, but it looked like he picked up enough. I would say he's got the first down. They stretch out the sticks, and that is a first down for Fort Morgan. Just inside the 1.
Earn the first down on that.
Well,
it'll be 1st and 1.
It keeps the Mustangs alive.
First and goal from the 1.
But you got to get into the end zone. They have taken up nearly 5.5 minutes on this drive. Clock running. 4 yards behind center. Wheatley hands it off to Ortega up the middle. Touchdown! Frankie Ortega scores for the 2nd time of the game. This one from 1 yard out. Fort Morgan trails by 4. It's 23-19. And now the all-important extra point.
7:20 remaining in the game. The Mustangs set for the extra point.
Got to make this one.
Attempt.
Yeah.
To at least try, or maybe have a field goal attempt later on in the game for a chance to tie it. And they're coming strong. And the kick by Cardona is up, and that's inside the left upright. It's good.
The extra point is good.
7 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game.
23, Fort
it is
Morgan
Erie 23, Fort Morgan 20. We're back in 30 seconds on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Championship game. To kick off.
The Mustangs have outscored Erie 13-0 in the second half. The 16-point deficit is almost gone. It's 23-20. 7:20 to go in the game. Jacob Ortega to kick it off. Will Kana and Mason Vivi are back deep to receive. Ortega boots that football. Line drive bouncing at the 12. It still bounces. Picked up by Kana at the 6. Straight ahead to the 15. A seam to the outside, but a flag is down. And he goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And that's going to be against Erie, it appears.
There's a flag on the play.
Blocking the back or something along that line.
Will Kana with the carry on the return.
We're at the top of the hour. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickell. It is a block in the back. So Erie will start at their own 23-yard line. Erie has punted twice
placed on the
in this
22-yard
half.
line. It'll be 1st and 10.
They've been
Erie.
kept off the scoreboard. The Mustangs are back in the game, but you need another stop, and you've got to score again. The winner of this game claims the North Valley League title. Erie 11th in the RPI going into tonight, and Fort Morgan 9th. Both teams are 4-0 in league play. Well, Brian, this is what you play these games for. You know, this type of situation. Vevey to the left of the running back, and Erie is going to call a timeout.
Timeout called by the Erie coach.
And they credited that other timeout to Erie, so Fort Morgan still got all 3 remaining.
Yeah, they gotta get a stop here, get a turnover. Something here, get possession again. Because we saw in the first half that Erie's quite capable of being able to run 7 minutes off the clock on a drive without any problem.
We've gone from 53 degrees at kickoff to 46 degrees. Not too bad. Fairly pleasant for an early November evening in Erie. So they have 1 timeout remaining, and if they hold on to the lead, they don't care about those timeouts.
No.
But it's holding on to the lead that's a trick. 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. Frankie Ortega with 2 touchdowns. Briggs Wheatley with 1. 4 yards behind center. There's the handoff on the jet sweep running left, and a big seam to the outside for Kana across the 30. He's got a first down. Caden
Carried by
Edson
Will Kana out to the 35-yard line.
Tackle. Why do we have a stoppage there?
First down.
Yeah, but there was Andrew Monroe is getting up slowly.
Is there
That's
a flag at the 25?
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, there was something there that happened. Yep. It would have been a gain of 11. But now let's see what happened.
Who was holding or
who was this going against?
Looks like they're going to walk it off against Erie.
Yeah.
Chop block.
Oh, that's a big call. That's a huge call. Huge call. That nullifies the 11-yard gain, half the distance to the goal.
Penalty against the Tigers.
It's at the 12. First down and 21. Well, you just cannot allow a big pass here.
Ball's at the 13-yard line.
You can't allow a big pass play. Only 5 yards passing in the second half for Erie after Mendoza threw for 143 in the first half. 2nd and 21. Handoff. Vevey up the middle with some daylight across the 15 to the 16. Gain is 4. Caden Edson, Andrew
Carry
Monroe.
out to the 17-yard line.
And on the play.
16.
Mason Vevey really, again, neutralized tonight. 27 yards unofficially on 16 carries.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
2nd down and 17 to go. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game. Erie is good enough they could run this thing out, but this is Fort Morgan's shot here. Trips to the right. Well, this is where you have to defend on the pass. Mendoza looking to throw, still looking out to his left, complete to Vevey at the 17-yard line. Along the sideline is taken out of bounds.
To Vevey complete.
Oh, he got some yardage, about 6 or 7 yards. That'll be a manageable situation now.
It'll be 3rd and 9 for the Tigers.
A gain of 7. And again, that's what you fear of your Fort Morgan. 3rd down and 9 to go. They've got to get to the 33. The clock is stopped. Just over 6 minutes to go in the game. Erie 23, Fort Morgan 20. The Mustangs have controlled the entire second half, but need one more score to perhaps claim the North Valley League title. On 3rd and 9, Mendoza rolls out to his right, still rolling, throws in a run, and it is complete. First down.
Terrible.
Boy, that's a bad spot for Erie. He caught that at the 34. They're backtracking that football to about the 32.
Yeah, and then they said he didn't go out of bounds. I thought he drove him out of bounds.
Well, what happened is that...
Now this ref over here is showing him about the 35.
No, what are they doing there? They're moving up that football. Let's see. Well, they have stopped the clock with 5:45 to go. I thought it was a first down.
Yeah, they're gonna move it.
It's a gain of 11.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy was looking at over there.
Pass reception to the 35-yard line calls for an Erie Tiger.
I believe Schenbeck made the catch. 1st and 10. That's a big one. That's what Erie has done in this game. They've converted third downs. And on that 3rd and 9, Fort Morgan has 3 timeouts. Still plenty of time, but is Fort Morgan going to get the ball back down by only 3? That's the question. Because right now... and there you go. That might be an unsportsmanlike against the Fort Morgan bench.
Yeah.
Well, you can't cost yourself that yardage now. That's going to be at midfield. That's going to be against the Mustang bench and at the 50 now.
Man, yeah, you can't be doing that.
Well, first of all, the official made a mistake that he was marking that.
Moves the ball to the 50
short of the first down marker, and then
1st and 10.
Then they moved it back.
Yeah.
And I think keeping the clock running is the right decision because he had forward momentum to the 35, and they drove him back out of bounds. 1st and 10 at midfield, 5:20 to go in the game. From the pistol, Mendoza rolls out to his left, looks to throw, pressure coming, the pass is incomplete, tipped up and nearly intercepted. If it stayed a little bit higher in the air, Mustang might have had that. 2nd down and 10. Brian, I'm surprised they threw on 1st down.
Yeah, I think they would just be wanting to get this clock to run, and don't leave Fort Morgan any time on the clock.
Again, Fort Morgan has all 3 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 10 from midfield. They've stopped the running game so well. But the pass, much better job in the second half. First half was the problem. From the pistol, Mendoza hands it off to Beebe, running off left tackle. He's got a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Fort Morgan
Beebe
right there.
To the 49-yard
Juan
line.
Chavez and Nick Norris.
It'll be 3rd and 9 for Erie.
And gutting up off the bottom of the pile is Miko Yanez. 3rd down and 9 to go for Erie at the 49. Second straight time we got 3rd down and 9.
This has been their Achilles heel tonight. They haven't been able to stop them on 3rd down or 4th down.
Yeah, just a couple of times, and both in this half.
Right.
I mean, I know Fort Morgan doesn't want to take a chance and come on a blitz or do something like that, but Mendoza's had all types of time as well. 3rd and 9 from the Mustang 49. Again from the pistol, man in motion to the left. Mendoza's going to hand it off to Beebe, and Beebe's hit at the 48. I can't believe they did that. It's a gain of 1.
Carry to the 48.
Chavez, the first one in on the
Brings
hit.
Up 4th and 8.
It's going to be 4th down and 8. They tried to throw Fort Morgan off balance, and the Mustangs were ready for it. Wow. Brian, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
I'm stunned. Their passing game, even though it's not been the same in the second half as it was in the first half. But again, if you're Fort Morgan now, you play for the return. 4th down and 8. We are under 4 minutes to go in the game. Back deep to receive is Ortega at his own 16-yard line. Here comes the rush. It's a short punt towards the sideline. It's a shank, a major shank.
Yeah, that should be about maybe their...
Wow. That is a tremendous shank over there by Jaden George. And the punt goes for about 15 yards. Fort Morgan with incredible field position, kicked it to his left towards the Erie sideline. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
1st and 10, Fort Morgan.
At their own 35-yard line with a chance to take the lead with 3:42 to go in the game. Here we go, lining up on the right hash mark. Fort Morgan has all 3 timeouts. Time is not a major factor now. This is for the North Valley League title. The backs are in an eye. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 35. Wheatley will keep it himself. Option left. Take off to the 40. Wheatley to the 50. Wheatley to his right to the 40. Wheatley with a block to the 30. Brings Wheatley down the right sideline to the 10. 5. Touchdown! 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 Brings Wheatley. He just went the distance. Holy Mahungus. Briggs Wheatley just took it the distance, and the Mustangs lead 26-23. Holy Mahungus. What a run. 65 yards. now the extra point. Wow.
Short a player here. Erie was wanting an illegal block out here, blocking the back and didn't get it.
It was close.
Yeah.
It was close.
Yeah.
It would not have been a bad call either, to be honest with you. Cardona's extra point is up, and that is good.
The extra point is good.
We'll stay right here.
Fort Morgan 27.
3:27 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 27, Erie 23. Well, Brian, I can't feel my feet. I'm telling you, this is crazy. I mean,
yeah.
The Mustangs down 16, now lead by 4, but, you know, Erie's one heck of a team here. One heck of a team. 124 yards rushing for Wheatley. That's his second touchdown of the game. Brian, far from over.
Oh, yeah.
Far from over.
Yeah, the defense is... Erie was playing not to lose, and they weren't playing to win.
No, I mean, I can't believe on the 3rd and 9. And now, keep in mind, if Fort Morgan stops them, Erie's only got one timeout.
Right, yeah.
You just got to stop them or come up with a turnover. This was a 23-7 game at the break. The Mustangs have outscored them 20-0 here in the second half. You got to get it done on special teams, though. Erie still has only committed one turnover to Fort Morgan's 2. I think the chill got to me there trying to say turnover. Ortega boots it away towards the sideline, fielded at the 11. Running to his left to the 15 is Vivi. And Vivi now spins out of it. He's got daylight along the sideline to the 35. Vivi now with Ortega to beat. And he's taken down in Fort Morgan territory. The Mustangs missed a tackle.
On the return.
And Vivi with a huge return to the Mustang 41. They had him at the 15. A return of 49 yards for Mason Vivi.
To the 40-yard line.
I tell you, special teams has been won tonight by Erie.
Of the Mustangs. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers.
1st and 10 at the Mustang 41. Wow. Well, now the Mustang defense has got to get it done.
Yeah. Everything here is 4-down territory. Maybe we can get another turnover here. Knock that ball loose.
Well, Fort Morgan will get another possession here if Erie scores. You would think. Trips to the left. Vivi, the running back, to the left of the quarterback, Mendoza. Oh, Fort Morgan's taking a timeout. Okay. Again, with a trips
called by
formation.
Fort Morgan. With 3:15 remaining in this league championship game.
Fort Morgan has played such a stellar second half. They trailed against Lutheran, won that game in the second half. Same against Brush. Same against Roosevelt. Didn't have enough firepower to come back against Thomas Jefferson and beat them, or against Conifer, but they made major runs here. They've had enough firepower, but still have to do it defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the time for the defense to step up. Again, they're going to have to do it. They've done it this whole second half. Now it's one more time they're going to be called upon to stop this Erie offense.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Mustang 41-yard line. Fort Morgan 27, Erie 23. The Colorado Prep scoreboard show will follow with Kevin Schaefer. Trips to the left. Mason Vivi, the running back, to the left of Mendoza, 4 yards behind center. Mendoza takes off with the football, running to his left, and he's smushed at the 40-yard line for a gain of 1. Fort Morgan is shadowing him big time.
2nd and 9 from the 40-yard line.
Looked like Paxton might have been there for the Mustangs. 2nd down and 9 to go for Erie at the 40. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. And Erie is taking their time. They've got one timeout and only 40 yards to get into the end zone. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Mendoza back to throw, rolls to his right, setting up a screen to the left. It's caught by Vivi at the 45, reversing his field to the 40, running to his left at the 30. Vivi with a first down to the sideline at the 20, and he's down at the 19. That's the same play that burned the Mustangs earlier. They're in the red zone. It's a gain of 21. First down for Erie.
Yeah, I saw him starting to spin out of there.
The ball on the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers.
Vivi crawled out of there and got out in position for that screen pass.
Clock is running too. 2:16 to go in the game. If they score, the Mustangs want them to score quickly so they have a shot here. 1st and 10 at the 19. 4 yards again behind center, and Mendoza looks to throw. A fade towards the end zone, back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Ortega in the back of the end zone. It's broken up. Oh, come on. You want a flag out of that? I mean, that was nearly uncatchable. Intended for Ian Vera. And it's 2nd down. 17th pass attempt for Mendoza. In the second half.
Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line.
4 out of 8. For 44 yards, 1:59 to go in the game. 2nd and 10 for the Mustang 19. 1 turnover can clinch this for Fort Morgan. Naked backfield. Vivi lining up as a receiver to the left. Mendoza, quick drop. Pressure coming up the middle. The throw over the middle in the end zone. Touchdown. Caught by Vivi. 19 yards away. And Erie has reclaimed the lead. It's 29-27. 4th touchdown pass of the game.
Pass complete for an Erie Tiger
for Gavin Mendoza.
Well, it gives them.
Well, they got plenty of time to take the lead. Right back to them.
Dominic Saltillo out onto the field to add on the extra point.
Ottavio to attempt the extra point. It's a big extra point. If he misses, Fort Morgan can win it with a field goal. High snap, and the kick is up, and that is good. Oh, man.
Your Erie Tigers lead 30-27 over the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Erie leads by 3, and again, that was set up by a big special teams return. A 49-yard kickoff return there by Mason Vivi. That's Vivi's 2nd touchdown catch of the game, and boy, the temperature's really dropping now.
Yeah.
You can feel it up here. 1:54 to go. Fort Morgan has 2 timeouts remaining. Well, Mustangs have one more opportunity. Can Briggs Wheatley pull it off again?
Get a big return on the kickoff.
Tigers set to kick off.
They need a football.
Frankie Ortega and David Sadinana are back deep to receive. The Mustangs trailed 23-7 at the break, and then 3 touchdowns in the second half. 20 unanswered points gave them a 27-23 lead before Gavin Mendoza's 19-yard touchdown pass to Mason Vivi. But plenty of time with 2 timeouts remaining. And now the kickoff. A short boot towards Ortega at the 11. Along the left sideline to the 20-yard line. And not much more there to the 25.
Ortega's return stopped at the 25-yard line.
Check that. That's Sadinana.
Start Sadinana from the 25.
On the return. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 25-yard line. This could be a league-clinching drive for the Mustangs. 1:48 to go. Lining up near that left hash mark. 75 yards away from taking the lead once again. Wheatley on 1st and 10. Has the football. Back to throw. Deep over the middle, incomplete. The pass was intended for Adam Cardona.
Incomplete.
Yeah, and he was open. He just overthrew him.
For the Mustangs.
He was there.
At about the 45-yard line. Well, again, you do have Wheatley's legs. You know, and Wheatley's got the freedom to take off. Look what he just did.
What do you think, Erie fans?
2nd down and 10 to go for Fort Morgan at their own 25. Wheatley back to throw to his left. Pass is caught underneath. Fernando Marquez is down, and the clock is running. at about the 31, maybe the 32.
Pass complete.
It'll be marked at the 32. Marquez's first reception.
Brings up third down and 4 yards to go for the Mustangs.
25 to go, and the clock is running. On 3rd and 3, Wheatley up the middle to his left. Wheatley spins. First down, they'll stop it for the movement of the chains to the 37, a gain of 5. Wheatley now unofficially up to 129 yards. 63 yards away. Clock is running with 1:08 to go. You got to snap it quickly here.
Yeah.
1:04, 1:03. 1st and 10 from the 37. Wheatley back to throw. Slant intercepted. It is intercepted along the right side. And getting loose at the 20 and down right there.
Erie Tigers with an interception.
Picked off, and this game belongs to Erie. Wow, that was a beautiful interception. And let's see who was able to pick that off for Erie.
We do have an injured player, couple of injured players on the field.
Looks like Jacob Farling. And an Erie Tiger is down, and so is a Fort Morgan Mustang.
Yep.
With 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, 3 turnovers.
Yep, and that did Fort Morgan in. Looked like a little slant, and it was read beautifully by, I believe, Farling. Well, there was major contact at the end of that play.
Yeah.
Well, the Erie player needs help to come off the field. I'm not sure who the injured Mustang is.
Yeah, because he wasn't directly involved in the tackle or in the play because the ball's at the 20. I don't know if somebody blocked him low or just got hung up or what happened.
Let's see who that is, Brian. See if we can spot that Mustang.
Let's see, 61. Mario Navarez.
Both players back off the field.
Yep.
After that interception by Jacob Farling from the Tigers.
Mustangs have 2 timeouts, but that's not enough to stop this team.
Which drove the ball all the way back to the 20-yard line of the Mustangs. 50 seconds remaining in the game. 1st and 10 Tigers.
They can kneel on it.
Well, they should. There's no reason to hand it off or anything like that.
No.
At the 19. And Fort Morgan had to make one stop on defense and couldn't do it. But they played great in the second half.
Yep.
And now, Erie's taking a timeout.
Yep.
And this game is ending at the right time because it's getting really cold here.
Chilling down.
It has dropped big time. I mean, it almost came like within a quick whisper.
So it looks like the Mustangs will be on the road next week for the playoffs.
We'll get to the Mustang halftime show here coming up. But they only had 90 yards at halftime. And then all of a sudden, in the second half, Fort Morgan did a much better job. Wheatley threw for 74 yards, and he ran for 129. So the Mustangs with a much better showing here in the second half.
Yeah, they'll just kneel on it.
And there's the first kneel down. Fort Morgan's going to take the timeout, and they'll take the second, but then not going to be enough for the third.
By the Mustangs.
Yep.
But you know what? Fort Morgan is going to be, they'll be a threat in the playoffs, at least in the first round. But you got to figure out how do you stop teams passing-wise.
Right.
I mean, so it'll be second down. And about 12 to go for the 21.
He doesn't need his name up in lights. He just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic.
Another valiant effort.
Everybody else
Wow.
He's going to come up short.
Yeah.
Some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise.
But you're not,
Second 11 for the Tigers.
you can't afford 3
48
turnovers
seconds remaining
against a
in the
team
game.
like this kind of game.
Well, they didn't lose the game in the second half. They lost the
No.
game in the first half,
Right.
even though they came back and took the lead. And now Mendoza has the snap. He retreats, and he'll be down. Mustangs take a
Timeout
timeout
called by the Mustangs.
at the 31. That's a loss of about 10. But again, if Fort Morgan had that other timeout, Brian,
Yep.
you take that other timeout. That's the problem, you know. And we can go back to that bogus pass interference call, but the fact is Fort Morgan overcame all that. They had a 4-point lead
Right.
and
Yep.
couldn't stop them in the end. So, you know, we can, not that those things didn't matter earlier in the game, but that's part of sports, overcoming the adversity. So now it's 3rd and 21. But what Erie's going to do here, again, Mendoza's going to line up. He'll line up in the pistol with Vivi behind him. It's got to be a really bad snap. And now he's just going to roll back, and Mendoza's going to run to his left. He should slide, and he does.
Yep.
And that's going to be the game. See, that was smart by Erie because they've taken up so much time off the clock. Fort Morgan cannot stop the clock, and that's going to be it. Erie does not have to take another snap, and the game is over. The Erie Tigers have defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs 30-27. Last year they won 31-28 and have done it again for a second straight year. It's a 1-minute break on B106 and Eastern Plains Sports Network.